And all righty, we are live. So, what is going on, YouTube? It is Craig Harris back to you on a cold Kentucky night with my main man JD33. And we were going to do the year in review and gaming and maybe throw some movies in there and fanboying and how fanboying is stupid. and so, but we're going to go ahead and kick it off. So, Jesse, go ahead and shout yourself out real quick.
Hey everybody, my name is JD33. I have my echo down.
Yeah, you are echoing.
Yeah, but yeah, this is your boy JD33. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Anyway, yeah, this is your boy JD33, man. Coming to y'all on another black man in the blue chair and a black dude in his room with all his shit that need to work podcast. I also have a little computer side business called 40 Geek Tech. I'm out of North Carolina, so if you got a raggedy diggity ass desktop, I'll hook that bitch up for you. You just pay me like 150, 200, but your ass buying the parts. And I also, do registry cleaners and antiviruses and stuff like that. But anyway, man, this is my little business thing out of the way. What we're gonna talk about today, man, is the year review. These dumb fuck ass Xbox fanboys, and oh yes, the very thing that the other side hates, is good old NPD'S. And also, let's not forget year review, good games, bad games, fuckers bullshit, and just everything in between, man. So let's go ahead and kick it off.
All right, yeah. Well, let's start off. Let's talk about what was good this year. So let's go back to the beginning of the year of 16, and Sony releases Street Fighter V. I believe that came first. I can't remember if that was a February or March release. So Street Fighter V comes out. It's technically it's not complete. It is complete in a way for the gamers who want to game on it professionally and make money because they have the big tournament out in Vegas every year. So they set it up pretty much to do that. Then they add other other players become available as the year goes on. Do we think that is a good thing or a bad thing? Are you kind of right down the middle with that?
This is how I feel about it. I think whenever you release the motherfucker need to be at least damn $85. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we're in the age of gaming now. I mean, let's look at what they did to Mass Effect. They gave us that bullshit ass ending and tried to say, well, we had multiple endings. So then why the fuck didn't y'all put them shit in there before you release the goddamn game? My thing is, if you make the game that ambitious, fuck them. You delay the shit because it's your damn project. Your fans, customer base, be your first priority. I mean, I'm not saying don't make the stockholders happy. No, do that because you need to get that bread. But at the same time, though, don't sacrifice art for some fuckers ass bullshit. Is what I'm saying. Now, Street Fighter V. This is how I felt about when the game released. Yeah, it looked good, but at the same time, that shit was fucking incomplete as all hell. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You had characters that should have been there. You had this that should have been there. But at the same time, though, Capcom did make the updates free. They said, hey, you already paid for it. We're going to give you everything free. Now, that's a good thing because it says, hey, we're sorry for this bullshit-ass title that's actually fucking good, but we're going to give it to you free. And I think that's actually a pretty good way to go about doing it. But on the flip side, though, I feel what it encourages is behavior to make games that look good, but are incomplete as shit, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so do you think it was good in the sense that they got the game out, but once they got the game out, they added everything was free? Is that what you're saying? So you're kind of okay with that versus it? Do you think it should have came out 100% ready to go?
I think what should have happened is that the game should, if it didn't come out 100%, at least come out goddamn 95% ready. At least that way you have over majority of the major stuff like the story and everything put in to add in. Now, if you want to release character DLC packs later, you know, clothing DLC packs, level DLC packs, even new modes, I'm down with that. But the overall project needs to be complete.
All right, I don't disagree with that. All right, so we move on through the year. These are just things that we think are good. We get another MLB The Show game.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed it. It allows you to do what a lot of people don't understand about the show is that they added. I mean, you can do all your character, have him be drafted, and then you'll start off in the minor leagues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your own. It's your journey. I think it's called the Journey to the Show. That is actually phenomenal to go ahead and do. Graphically, they did improve a lot of the player animations. The graphics themselves were about the same, but the player animations, especially the sliding and things like that, they added that. They also added a the way the pitcher is pitching, how they pitch, not the mechanical, but how the hitter should be thinking. Then when it flips on the mound, so when you're on the mound, you're kind of like, okay, this batter. You got to get the batter knows you got to get ahead of him in the count. So since you got to get ahead of him in the count, waiting for you to throw your best pitch, which you're not gonna throw your best pitch because you want the batter to go chase bad balls. So they added that to the game. It's like a deception thing they've added. So if you play baseball, and baseball is America's pastime.
Oh man,
this is a must-have game. All these kids that are out running around on the diamond and stuff like that, buying gloves, stuff like that. The only place to play a baseball game with MLB is on Sony. Now,
let me.
So because 2K does not. I don't know if 2K makes baseball anymore. So, but let me ask you this: do you think this is a good thing? This is kind of one more reason why. To later how Microsoft kind of dropped the ball on this because now they got no sports game to carry in the spring. But go ahead.
Well, okay, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna deal with this and I'm gonna get into my favorite best. Anyway, concerning Microsoft been doing nothing but taking fucking L's. We talked about this. It's the whole thing of DRM paywalls that are probably still somewhere on Xbox Live that they try to get rid of. I mean, Microsoft's games library right now, and can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Anyway, let's make sure I'm coming in clear. Microsoft's games lineup are, you know what I'm saying? With the exception,
yeah.
So the game just.
All right. Well, now you're breaking up.
Oh, what about now?
That's better. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Oh, that's great right there. Where you at right now is great.
Anyway, so it's like what Microsoft is doing when it comes to the games lineup. One has to think, what the fuck is y'all shooting y'all on? I mean, it's like, damn, we got a Halo Wars coming out. I don't give a fuck about Halo Wars. I stopped caring about Halo Wars. They got Forza. You can see that bullshit again. Of course, they got Call of Duty, but they ain't got the exclusivity no more. Exclusive perks no more. So when you look at Microsoft's game library, that shit is an inaccurate ass nut in the damn dog without getting your girl pregnant. That's what this shit is. Now, I'm gonna say this. I know why Ironwood left the Xbox community. I know exactly why he left.
Right.
He left because of the fact that he got tired of shit that he's been seeing, and he's realized, man, I'm dumb fucking shit, and I'm like an idiot, And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it like I need to do the game to stop beefing with Bud and all them other people. Because I'm like, dude, you wasting all your time arguing with other people online still playing your games. You what I'm saying? Who the fuck does that shit? But it's like now he's realized that, hey man, it doesn't matter what company you play for. It's about the game. You know what I'm saying? And I think that right there, that set the Xbox community into a real big fraction. It's like, damn, one of our best is gone. The other console, they do the same thing to Titanfall Princess. Me and her cool as shit. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody that's watching said they're having trouble hearing you. But hey, if J-Dog R, if you're following me on Twitter, hit me up with a message, and I'll send you a link for the podcast if you want to get on.
But can you hear me okay?
Yeah, where you at right there is fine.
Yeah. But anyway, like I was saying, man, what's happening in the Xbox community is that some people have realized how important this is. They be a part of this dumb fucking family war. You know what I'm saying? And I've been saying for the longest time, shut the fuck up. Play games and enjoy what you're doing. Don't give it this bullshit. But anyway, let's talk about favorite games. You know what one of my favorite games of all time is?
What was that?
Fucking Doom.
Yeah, I was getting to that. I was gonna say, do you think Doom?
Let me say this. That shit is way fucking faster than Call of Duty.
Yeah, it was a good game.
That is the way all that taking cover. Like, we about to go with double barrel.
All right, now you're breaking up again. You're breaking up.
What about now?
Yeah, that's fine right there.
Anyway, you know, Doom was like, man, fuck all that taking cover shit. It is time to kick ass. And that's why I'm buying the game, because it brings back what a first-person shooter should be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of the Call of Duty dudes got used to taking cover, that's fine. But at the same time, you can try as much as you can. It's not gonna work. So you know, and plus, the way the AI works in this shit fucking takes like the hell.
Yeah, you're going in and out. There's a couple people that are watching. On it, they said you're breaking up.
God damn it! What about now?
Yeah, that's good.
Anyway, so yeah, man, like the AI is doing the hell, like
yeah.
I mean,
I remember that. Yeah,
the AI has a pack mentality where they're gonna figure out a way to get them bastards are jumping. And I said,
hey, why don't you go ahead and disconnect and then come back, because you are coming in and out.
Let me come back. Let me disconnect and come back.
Yeah, and let's come back. Yeah, that's cool. All right. So yeah, we know he's having. I appreciate the folks that are watching, shouting, going ahead and letting us know that. But we were talking about Doom, and what he's pretty much saying about Doom is that how he feels it was one of the best shooters of the year. I agree. I mean, I thought there were a lot of good shooters this year. So they but that game, and yeah, I thought Titanfall 2 was a very good shooter with a wonderful campaign. I enjoyed Call of Duty. I also enjoyed the other one. My goodness gracious. Dishonored. Dishonored 2, I liked it. A lot of people didn't. I used the woman on it. And that was actually pretty cool because you had to be a little more tactical. So yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's a little bit better. That's better.
Fucking hell, man. Shit. Goddamn connection. But
yeah,
anyway,
wherever you were, it wasn't working good. But go ahead, finish your thing. Finish your thoughts about Doom.
Anyway, man, the thing I like about Doom, we talked about glass on camera. The thing about Doom that I like, man, is that Doom was one of those games where you really couldn't take no cover. So ask them if they heard what I said, and well, they probably didn't shit. But You get what I'm saying, right? You know, Doom was one of those games where you have to constantly move around, and if you take cover, you could die. And plus, two, you know, the way they did the health system, it made you fight. There was no regenerating health. There was none of that shit. Hello?
That's true. Yeah, you can find those little cubes on there, couldn't you?
You could. Yeah, you could, but you get a lot of health from killing enemies. You know what I'm saying? Especially like Mancubuses and Hell Knights and shit like that. And the fucking boss battles. Oh my god, that shit was awesome. What I saw.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, quick shout out to the couple people watching. Appreciate it. We're doing a quick year in review on games. We'll get to the NPD stuff and the Fanboy stuff, and if it's good or if it's bad for the community. Okay, what do you feel was the best, or how well received or unreceived do you think? And this ties into some of the Fanboy stuff. Quantum Break. Now, I for one thought Quantum Break was okay. I thought that some of the fanboys gassed it up so much because it was supposed to be their version of Uncharted. There was nothing like Uncharted, but it's supposed to be their version of Uncharted. The game gets pushed back, which again, games get delayed, folks. I don't care about a game getting delayed because that happens. So, because Uncharted got pushed back, so which is fine. They wanted to work on the multiplayer.
You want to know about Quantum Break?
Yeah, do you think that the fanboyism on Quantum Break hurt the overall perception of the game instead of just people saying, hey, there's a cool game coming out?
You know what I'm going to say?
Good story. Yeah, just go ahead and enjoy it. What do you think about that?
This is what I think. The fanboys behind that game fucking hurt the game for the most part. Also, too, another thing that hurt the game for the most part is I've always said this. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're great now. That's good.
I'm going to say you never really try to put a game with a TV show. Basically, you play 30 minutes of the game, you watch 30 minutes of the TV show. Yeah, they wanted to show what different things you can do there, here and there. But I'm sorry, man. Quantum Break was a decent idea, but I think if that game had came out probably next year, it probably would have had a whole lot more behind it, been a hell of a whole lot better. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as the fanboy typing that game up, I just say they dumb motherfuckers anyway because they desperate to get a damn win. I say, it doesn't matter what console you play. If you like a game, you like a game regardless of what anybody else says. You know what I'm saying? Like, Johnny Jet, my boy Jet, platinum games. But I like platinum games. I've been like Nier Automata because platinum games made this shit Bayonetta. He didn't like Bayonetta. I fucking love it. You know what I'm saying? But that's another person's like versus another person's dislike. And we're all entitled to that. But I just think the whole break, man, that game had real party showed that shit. And I said to myself, damn, but that's the case, man. Then Quantum Break to me is a half complete game. But I just feel like the story behind that game was just kind of what the fuck anyways. You know what I'm saying? Somebody dealing with time travel and, we're doing this and we're doing that. I'm like, look, it's like a goddamn except you going through time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this really
well, how much did it sell? I mean, that's my question. Did it truly flop or did it just underperform? Because there's a difference.
What I saw, according to sales, that shit kind of flopped. Okay. Okay, look at that game. Look at that bullshit called Spring Ride.
Yeah.
That Clyde ass shit ain't even no damn good coming out the gate. Now, I know it might be some people in the chat saying, damn, why he talking shit about Spring Ride? Because games like that are not exactly bad. It's just the perception of it and whether you take them fucking shit serious. Quantum Break was taken partially serious, but at the same time, the game had issues that I saw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now you brought up Halo. You brought up Halo Wars 2 earlier, and I'm not to cut you off there. Do you think Halo Wars 2 will be as good as XCOM was. The new XCOM that came out. Because I enjoyed that new XCOM. And I thought it was a very I thought it came in under the radar. It was a fun game to play. They put it on the Unreal Engine. I think it was on Unreal 4. So it's so do you feel that the new so the question is, do you feel the people who are watching, we're up there, 4 viewers, a shout out to the 4 viewers. Do you feel that Halo Wars 2 coming out for the Xbox, I guess it comes out in a couple weeks or in February. Do you guys feel, I'll start with you, Jesse, do you feel that Halo Wars 2 will be as good or, do as well as the XCOM game that came out?
Okay, this is how I feel about Halo Wars. Okay, I do like a deep story, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck Halo and fuck 343. Because to me, what it seems like is that what Microsoft is doing, we're going to release the Halo game, but I'm like, is that all you motherfuckers got on your console? Now I'm not saying I want Halo Wars to flop because I want no game to flop, but I just feel, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good.
But I just feel that when you look at how Halo Wars 2 has come out and how they're trying to push that shit, I'm like, you know what, man? But at the same time, I'm fucking done with Halo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was actually done with Halo after Halo 4. I said, you know what? No more Halo. Fuck Halo 5. I don't consider that shit to be canon. Because of the fact that Bungie had a great idea and 343 came and fucked shit up.
Well, they did kind of push it away, yeah.
They ain't no damn push it away. They fucked that shit up.
Yeah.
So, this is how I feel about Halo Wars. I hope the game and wish it do well for what it can do. But at the same time, I'm not jumping up and down the toilet my damn box around butt ass niggas. I'm gonna play that shit.
Hey, we just got a message from Cycle Gamer. He's going to join us when he gets home. So, yeah, he's probably ripping off the headboard.
Oh, Lord. Goddamn.
So, yeah. But, yeah, he'll join us when he comes in. And, yeah, we're doing a year review. So, yeah, I think if you guys don't know, Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2, that's the original Source Q Halo. When Steve Jobs, God rest his soul, when Steve Jobs went walking around Bungie, that's what he saw. And this is when Steve was still trying to get games on Mac. And so, but when Bill Gates found out about it, of course, Bill Gates went in and bought the company, and then he made the Xbox to run this game, to run it as a shooter. The shooting part, the first-person shooter in Halo, that's a hack. That's part of the hack code that those guys used at Bungie to run around and do stuff. But let me move on. Let's go to Uncharted. So Uncharted 4 comes out for PlayStation, does very well. This is where, and this is going to the fanboy stuff here. This is where, as far as me being on YouTube, I don't think I was on YouTube yet. This is one of the first areas I noticed the fanboys starting to really, in the Xbox community, starting to come apart. I mean, this is when the attacks started. They were comparing it to Quantum Break graphically, saying Quantum Break looked better. I played Quantum Break. Quantum Break, it didn't look half as good as Uncharted, but nevertheless, I'm not. But so give me your take on Uncharted 4. Do you feel like did it live up to its billing? Did Sony kind of overhype it? Do you think Naughty Dog delivered?
How I feel. Given what Naughty Dog did with Last of Us, even though I didn't play the game, but from what I saw, I think Naughty Dog did a pretty damn good job in trying to end the story of Nathan Drake. You know what I'm saying? Because Uncharted 4 was supposed to be the finale of all his treasure diving, all this cheating him been in, the whole 9 yards. You know what I'm saying? And, when I look at Uncharted and Quantum Break graphically, I think Uncharted does a much better way of presenting their characters. You know what I'm saying? Because, let's face it, man, Naughty Dog is about writing damn good stories. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like a quantum break. Well, we got these ideas we're gonna try and mash together, and this shit's unsuccessful. Naughty Dog has been proven to be a great game company through and through. You know what I'm saying? So if you were to put Quantum Break and Uncharted side by side, I say Uncharted slap the shit out of Quantum Break. It just fucking does. And it's not because Quantum Break is on Xbox. It's because as a writer myself on my free time, I'm trying to write a halfway decent story. I've learned that there's some things you do and some things you don't do. And Quantum Break has decent ideas, but it just didn't implement the pitch.
You think,
Huh?
My bathtub dirty.
so you think Naughty Dog delivered?
I ain't been in it.
I think they did. Yeah, I think they delivered.
All right. Well, that's fine. That's right. All right. I'm trying to think. Hell, what did Microsoft come out with in the summer?
Man, you know what? This one they came out with in the summer that was big, all right?
Yeah.
One thing they came out with in the summer, and if you count October as part of late summer, it's fucking Halo 5. You know what I'm saying? But that came out, I think, last year.
That was in 15, wasn't it? Halo 5 came out last year. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. So, really, I don't know what the fuck Microsoft came out with.
All right. You know what it was? Okay. Microsoft went 6 months in 2016. What is that noise? Sounds like somebody's getting their ass whooped. All right. All right.
Talk about that's what I'm doing.
All right. Microsoft goes 6 months or 5 months without any new IPs hitting.
You know what?
Sony, I think, is still reeling out IPs at this point. Hell, I can't remember at this point. My mind is blown. All right. When did oh my goodness gracious, when did I can't think of the name of the game. It won Game of the Year, and I can't think of the name of it. But so let me ask you this. So we get to E3. We're at E3. Microsoft shows very little software IP. They show hardware. Let me tell you all what I think about how the hardware thing went. And this is why us as consumers actually came out on top on this. This is Craig the consumer talking. They both set out to put out UHD consoles. Microsoft puts out a console that plays UHD hard videos, meaning you go to the store and you can go get a UHD video, or you can stream 4K through a USB or something like that, or 4K video on Netflix. That allows you, if you already had a UHD TV at the time, to go ahead and play, watch movies, which is good as a consumer. If that's what you want and you want to pay that extra $12 for a UHD movie, that's fine. But Microsoft gives you that ability to do that. Sony shows a bunch of games and, shows Days Gone, shows Hellblade, it shows a lot of games. They come out later in the year and announce the Pro and how the Pro is coming out in 6 weeks. And it's going to play 4K games. Now, it's going to use some magic sauce, whatever you want to call it, but it plays games in 4K. Some are native, some are upscale to that point. But it's UHD gaming because anything above 1080p is UHD. So Sony allows you to, if you have the 4K TV or the UHD TV, to play games. Now, as a consumer, that's what we should be talking about because both Microsoft and Sony deliver a way to enjoy your 4K content, albeit differently, but it's still a way for us to enjoy the 4K content. Do you think the fanboys got so caught up in what could do what and things like that you get the Microsoft fanboys talking about the Scorpion? And the last time I looked, and I didn't go to the store today because I was at work, the Scorpion's not on the shelf. So do you think that the fanboys, again, instead of talking about the good thing what Microsoft did with the Xbox One Slim, they talk more about the Scorpion and try to, crap all over the, no pun intended, all over the PlayStation 4. What are your thoughts?
Man, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, these are my thoughts. Again, the fanboys. The fanboys me. time worried about the wrong shit. Okay, for example, 4 Pros are already out, right?
Pro? Yeah. I can go to the store right now and get one. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. You're breaking up, but go ahead.
It might not be the most powerful combination of Pro. I mean, but it might be the most powerful Pro. But here's what people fail to realize. This is JD TikTok. I tell anybody, you can have all the high spec RAM, but if you're not using this shit for what it's fucking useless. You know why the Scorpio is having 320 transfer?
Well, why is that?
Because think about it, Windows 10 uses a shit ton of data, right? A shit ton of space.
It does. It can. Yeah.
So you need that space to back up for whatever inconsistencies you got, because we on Microsoft is shit when it comes to hardware. So they're like, hey, no, we have to go overboard with it. Now, speaking of the Xbox Scorpio and the Xbox One S, the One S is not a bad console, but it's not a great console. And the way I feel about this shit is, I don't give a fuck if the program got a damn UHD. I can stream UHD if I get the service. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So most of the people usually watch movies on Netflix now. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, more people are streaming than buying. It's true.
Exactly. So even though Sony don't have a UHD, and the Xbox want to sit there and talk about that, we'll let them talk about that. We'll let them make answers just like they always do.
Well, but do you think it's a good idea as a consumer that Microsoft brings that out, and it's another way for people to enjoy their 4K TVs? Because the Xbox One S does not play 4K video games.
Mm-hmm.
So Microsoft embraces the 4K UHD community. I mean, again, I'm a big movie guy, and when your 3 top movies don't come out, Zootopia, Captain America: Civil War, and Star Wars: The Force Awakens, that's not on UHD because Disney figures, you're going to buy the movies anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to put them on UHD. So, and do you think that kind of hurts Microsoft? But at the same time, as a consumer, the fanboy, do you think they kind of dropped the ball instead of saying, hey, look, here's what it can do. This is great. It's a cheap UHD player. Granted, it's not as nice as the Samsung 8500D, but do you think the fanboys this is one of those things when people talk down on the fanboys, folks, this is one of those things that we're talking about. They're so caught up in looking at the moon, they forget about the stars and all their glory. So do you feel that the fanboys just they get so caught up in what the Scorpion may or may not be, they kind of overlook what they actually had in the Xbox Slim?
Look, I'm gonna say this: the fanboys are living in fucking fantasy land right now. Because I'm gonna say this: no offense to real Xbox gamers out there who aren't idiot fanboys, but the motherfuckers in that community, we already know they're making the community look bad. Okay, them idiot Xbox fanboys are so goddamn desperate. They know PD is what they know that it might take 1 or 2 months out of the year every year. They know the game library can scale. They don't sit there because it is that same. Because let's talk about PlayStation. Last time I was
Well, you're breaking up again. You're breaking up again.
What about now?
Oh, that's fine.
Anyway, I went at the number of PlayStation 4s out the wild. I guess I'm going to their approximately out there in the wild right now.
Really?
50 fucking million plus. Microsoft probably got about half now, or over half now.
Right.
I'm still breaking up bad.
Yeah, it's getting better.
What the fuck?
Here. Cycle Gamer says, "Stay with us, JD."
Shut up! Shit out of his ass. Talking about goddamn Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is pretty bad. But no, go ahead.
Anyway, so yeah, man, it's just I mean, fanboys do what they do best. They spread bullshit, they spread propaganda, they spread odious fucking sad behavior. It's what they do.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of my boy Sucker, right? Sucker cool as shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He already said, I like playing on PlayStation. But he's not afraid to play devil's advocate, which I think is good because it makes you think, is this really as good as it say it is? Or is this a personal thing?
Right.
But, it's like apples to apples, oranges to oranges, that kind of shit. I just personally think, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, it's better now.
God damn it, for real. I just think that fanboys need to shut the hell up and just play their damn game. That's what they need to do.
All right, I just sent another invite to King Grimpachi, so hopefully he can get in here shortly. Put in his 2 cents.
Girls are putting them 3 cents.
All right. Well, let's move into the fall. Xbox comes in with for another, for a Forza game that, by all indication, is I played it. It's actually pretty cool. I like Gran Turismo more. I'm hoping Gran Turismo delivers, because that's the father of all racing simulators. Let's just keep it real. Yes, there's been Project Gotham Racing. There was Ridge Racer, Drive Club, and I like all those games too. But ain't nothing gonna touch Gran Turismo. So Forza comes out, and by all indications, it's Forza Horizon 3. It's a quote unquote better racer than a lot of than Forza 6, I guess. So, but this is what Microsoft hits us with, and of course, Sony is coming in with the Pro. And this is not a diss on nobody, because Microsoft finally, after their parchness or sparseness of the summer, they start coming in with games. Not to mention, you have the multi-plat starting to hit now, whether it be Battlefield, Titanfall, and Mafia. What is your take on Mafia 3? Because I like the character, but I thought it was a little repetitive. So what was your take on Mafia 3?
All right, can you hear me good?
Yeah, it's better. Go ahead.
This is how I feel about Mafia 3. I like the concept of making a biracial character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Growing up in that time, where conservatives, and this is kind of political, the conservatives this shit practice every fucking outward racism. I like the fact that they use the N-word, they called you wop, spit, kike, and all that shit, because it showed you just how malicious the motherfuckers were. And also, can you hear me all right as I talk?
Oh, yeah, you're fading, but you'll come in and out.
All right, what about now?
Yeah, that's good now. Wow.
So, Mafia 3, right? What I like about that game is it told an unabashed story of how racism affected people in the South. Even if it was New Bordeaux, even if New Bordeaux was a fictional place, I'm still buying Mafia 3. You know what I'm saying? For the fact that I really like Lincoln Clay. I like the fact that you're seeing how these motherfuckers really were back in the goddamn Jim Crow days, post-civil rights movement. And you get to see a dude who's non-Caucasian take the foot to the ass of the very people that were supposed to be his friends, like the Marconos, Georgie and Sal Marcano. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I said to myself, if I wrote a Mafia 3 fanfic, I would kind of retcon Georgie and Lincoln being enemies. It would be Georgie, Lincoln, Donovan. I forgot the priest's name. But you know what I'm saying? That game I just like because of the fact that you had a character who was on the other part of the racial spectrum.
Right.
He was discriminated against. He was called names. But he was one of the most dangerous motherfuckers you could ever do. Because like John Donovan said, Lincoln is the kind of guy you put in every mission, you get the unholy fuck out their way.
That's true. Let me answer this question. J-Dog just asked, does playing physical movie disc really affect a console in a negative way? Hey, go ahead and mute your mic real fast. I'm trying to see if I'm echoing or if that's you that's echoing.
Let me mute my mic real quick.
Yeah, just mute it real quick. All right, I'm going to answer this question. Hopefully I'm not echoing. If I am, let me know. Playing physical movie disc. No, that's my point. It does not affect the console negatively. But the question is do you feel that the fanboys were so big on talking about trying to compare it to the PlayStation 4 that they missed out on what the console could really do well? I personally like the fact all right, thanks, JL Core. Shout out to you, buddy, for helping me do that. I appreciate that. So, J-Dog, my answer to you is that I thought it was good because Microsoft allowed the consumer who already had a UHD TV to take advantage of it in that way. I just think the question, I just think the fanboys are so caught up in comparing it again. I think that they missed out on it. I mean, but with that said, everybody needs to understand that a UHD movie is about $14 more than a regular Blu-ray movie. And it's not that huge of a difference. And then when you play it on the Xbox, it's a entry level, which is fine. There's nothing bad on the Xbox because they're giving the consumer a way to watch. But again, I personally think you should always go with a dedicated player because when you're asking the Xbox to play the high-end movies, it's still using the exact same diode. So it's overplaying the diode. But that's my answer to that, J-Dog. So you're back to you, JD. Do you think that so you feel that Lincoln Clay, so you're like a lot of people, you like the characters, but you felt the story was underwhelming or that this didn't serve the characters well?
You know
what?
Still
talking about Mafia.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I'm gonna mute mine so that to help with the
yeah.
I gotta go back to the.
So I guess it's just gonna be me talking, huh? But anyway, this is about Lincoln Clay. I think Lincoln Clay was a good character because of the fact, like I said, we were talking about a time in American history which actually did exist where you had a real bad racial precedent. You could be, you could be Irish and still be discriminated against by other white people. I mean, it's just the fucked up nature of our country. And I think the game of Mafia 3 told that story pretty well. And even though some people say the game is repetitive, I kind of do like the fact that you do have a character who was sticking it to the foot, putting foot and ass of the Mafia and showing them who they fuck with the wrong guy. So Mafia 3 wasn't just a story about trying to get big. It was a really good, really greatly done revenge story. And you saw everything from Vito's point of view, from the Irish guy point of view, from the Haitian woman's point of view, and from Lincoln's point of view. You know what I'm saying? And I personally think that I wish we had more game stories like that where you kind of feel what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of my take on how Mafia 3 was. I think it's it might not be the greatest game of all time, but I think it's above fucking average in my opinion. But that's just
I heard that. Yeah, I feel you. All right, let me ask you, now we're moving into these other multi-plats. Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite. Well, I know how you feel about Call of Duty. So let's talk about Battlefield. Let's talk about not Call of Duty, I'm sorry, Battlefield 1 and then move on to Titanfall 2. This is something else where the fanboys start coming in on Titanfall 2. So let's start there. Allegedly, well, no, this actually happened. A developer, somebody on the team, some low-ranking whoever, an intern, I think, takes a picture of the Titanfall 2 disc, and I guess it's blue or it's blue and black or something like that. And I guess tweets something, and the Xbox community goes ape shit. Just totally loses their mind, starts canceling the pre-order, which again, it's the same people who said they weren't going to order the damn game anyway. They come back, they lie about that, but never mind that. So Titanfall 2 comes out. It does not sell well out the gate. It's starting to recuperate and catch up. Talk to me about how you feel about the Titanfall 2 story, especially with the and compare that to the story with the in Call of Duty with that robot. Which one do you think got that better? Since you're writing stuff, tell people who you feel got that one better. And I know the games are the games. I liked both games, but just kind of compare those two, and go ahead and go in on that one for me.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I just muted my mic. Go ahead.
Okay, Ethan and BT. Oh, let's see, Cooper and BT. Well, I think the Cooper and BT story kind of pans out a bit better because you see a link between man and machine, and you see how they both rely on each other in combat. How BT is able to basically help Cooper fly long distances, and Cooper's able to solve stuff so BT can move through. But at the same time, though, Ethan for Infinite Warfare, I think, was the best character because of the fact that even though he was a robot, he was able to present what it is to be human because he had the programming of human emotions. But at the same time, he could be witty, he could be funny, and he could be a hell of a squad mate. So when I look at it, I think Ethan in some cases is a better character in some cases because of the fact that, BT is a great character too. But Ethan just has a great sense of humor about shit, And he is like the most human, non-human robot character I've seen in the game. Just the way he was presented. Now, BT was kind of a lumbering toddler with armor plating and guns. But that doesn't make BT a bad character. I just think that when you look at Titanfall, you look at Call of Duty, you're getting two different stories. One story is in between the relationship between man and machine. The other story is a space opera that could have been great, but at the same time, it fell by the wayside. So, basically, I think when it comes to character, Ethan was pretty cool, but at the same time, I think BT was better because BT will come save your ass when shit goes bad. So honestly, I think those two are good characters in their own right. I mean, I wouldn't say one's better than the other, but when it comes to jokes, Ethan got that shit hands down. I mean, come on, you have a robot character who's better than the fucking human character in Infinite Warfare. That tells you something right there. It really does. But yeah, the story of Titanfall 2. It was a story, but it was kind of a basic meat and potato story. You and BT fight together, you get along, you learn what it is to be a team. I just wish the game could have been more than 6 hours long. It should have been the fucking 25, 30-hour affair like Mass Effect. Some people say that's too long, but I'm sorry. I think a game that long allows you to build into that character, to show their nuances and tell a more complete story about that character. And I'm also doing a Titanfall fanfic called Crossing the Battle Lines, where it kind of retcons quite a bit of Titanfall too. But, it is what it is. But now, let's talk about the Infinite Warfare story. The biggest issue I had with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was when you had the settlement defense front. Yeah, we all know they're supposed to be space Nazis, but at the same time, you never saw any gray area with these guys. They just went out and did whatever they needed to do for the cause. And I think that when you have characters to me that damn stale and that baseless, that fucks up a story real bad because the characters aren't something you can feel. The way I would have done Infinite Warfare is Ethan and Sailor and Cox would have known each other from childhood, would have reconnected, but then they would have saw how their worldview had changed from them. Kosh being a part of the SDF, his best friend Reyes being a part of the UNSA. I mean, that would make for a more tense type of meeting. Two childhood best friends growing apart, and it's like now they kind of end up being enemies, but they end up coming together at the end to solve the problems in between both groups. Okay, you talk now, Craig.
Okay. All right. So now we're pretty much we're caught up. Did you ever play Overwatch? This
Ooh, shit, boy. Boy, let me tell you. Oh, my God. You hear me?
yeah.
Boy, Overwatch, got to mention Overwatch. Come on out there. I damn like. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, now, but anyway, I never really played Overwatch, but I think the game is pretty good from what I heard. It's actually pretty damn fun to play, and it's got an excellent team set up and all the stuff you do. So, yeah, I think that actually be the title that I would actually try is Overwatch because it's something different. They got female characters who kick ass, and I like girls who kick ass. Um, Shout out to my girl, Lady Shiva from Batman, even though she get her ass killed by a dollar Cassandra Cain. That's another topic for another time. But yeah, man, I would definitely try Overwatch because I think it presents something different, and each character has their own little unique play style or unique play styles that are borrowed from someone else. Okay, you can talk now.
All right. Well, like I said, that all right, so now we're moving into November, December. PlayStation has let's talk about The Last Guardian real quick. Based on the way Eco and then Shadow of the Colossus is sold, they're roughly where they were. So it seems like they hit their basic fan mark, and they did not expand so far into a bigger market. So do you feel that it possibly was overhyped? I was never interested in the game. It seemed like an interesting concept, but I don't know what the game's about. I don't know if it's you got to solve puzzles or something like that. But it's out now, and do you feel that? And then after that, go in on No Man's Sky on how horrible that game launched. I mean, I still like the game. But because what I saw is what I got. I mean, they pretty much said here's what's going to happen. But talk about both those games. I mean, is The Last Guardian and No Man's Sky overhyped? Even though No Man's Sky went back in, and according to a lot of people, I'm talking about a lot of people that I've seen review the game, with you being able to build habitats and things like that, they really do like it. So let's go in on those two real quick.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, Ico, Shadow of the Colossus. Well, the game that came out, that just came out. All right, the game Ico, if I'm saying it right, just came out. It's one of those niche games, and niche games are not bad games because a niche game might be for a certain niche, but at the same time, that game could be really well done. I mean, if you look at the game, the first Nier game. Nier was a sleeper hit made by Squaresoft, but that shit had a huge fucking following, cult following. And we got Nier Automata, which I will be buying coming the fuck out. Now, the Ico game, I like it because it's something different and it brings back the old Crash Bandicoot puzzle style way of doing stuff, and it gives you an adventure to go on and stuff like that. So, it's just kind of how I feel about the game. It might not be the biggest game in the world, but that doesn't make it a bad game. You just gotta. I think over time, what's gonna happen is gonna garner a larger fan base when it starts to grow. Now, No Man's Sky. Oh my damn! When I saw that game, I said, "Fucking yes!" Because of its space combat, space exploration, you finding stuff, this, that, and the third. But the issues that it had, it kind of turned quite a few people, including myself, off. But with this new update that I heard about, I fucking like it. I like the shit. What's up, Soccer Gamer? We see you in here. But yeah, it's kind of how it is. Games. They might not exactly be the biggest shit in the world, but at the same time, I think they deserve their due.
Yeah, I understand. What's going on, Psycho Gamer? Give yourself a quick shout out here to the viewing world of the internet.
Indeed, man. It's a Psycho Gamer. I'm a bit sick right now, but hey, working it out.
I had the same shit Saturday, man. It takes about 24 hours.
See right now and some vitamins and shit, and trying to get myself back in the swing of things. But yeah, should be all right, man.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us. He's wounded, folks, but he's still in holding it down.
Indeed, fuck it.
Yeah. Sorry. So, what is your take on? Do you feel that I'll kind of start and run a real fast review? Microsoft's year in review. Start out with Quantum Break. Do you feel that Quantum Break flopped? I mean, I don't know if the game flopped because I don't know how many it had to sell. Do you feel the game underperformed? And do you feel that it was a good game and a lot of the fanboys, I'm not talking about you, a lot of the fanboys went in and kind of bigged it up to be quote unquote Microsoft's Uncharted, so forth and so
on. So I'm gonna say this first of all. I think this year, and I know it may sound kind of cliche, but this year as a whole, the best years this generation. What games we all received. When we talk about Quantum Break, I don't know how it sold. Like I told you, to sales too much, but from what I'm hearing, it didn't sell too, depending on whose ever expectations. But I thoroughly enjoyed the game. It was something different. I don't think there's any game that had live action stuff in there where you can play that and that actually goes into the story of the game and all that kind of stuff. I think the quality of the game was good. I feel like the actors were good. Shaded the game. So you go from Quantum Break a lot, obviously, and go with Uncharted. I'm not even going to say I'm not going to say Quantum Break is better than Uncharted because I have not played Uncharted yet.
Well, you're breaking up there, my brother. You're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you're breaking up there. I didn't know because you were sick or I didn't know.
Shit, we all breaking up. Hey,
can you hear me clearly? Or
yeah, I just didn't know because you were congested. I didn't know, so but I just wanted to let you know. But yeah, so
okay.
All right. So do you feel that, or do you think that it was underserved by some in the Xbox community because they were so grandiose on thinking it was going to be like an Uncharted killer?
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Just what I was saying was, fanboys are going to boast up anything. Some fanboys were boasting up Scream Ride. I'm serious. Boys would do what they do. They treat these consoles like they're sports teams. I don't think of them like that. But yeah, I mean, they could have talked it all up. Sector of YouTube, they could be talking it up, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of embarrassing for them to be, talking it up as the next Uncharted. We know Uncharted, or for me, Uncharted is probably one of my best ever created. One of the best series. Uncharted, and I would say God of War, for me, are two of the best series that I ever.
Played. And I give Microsoft credit because Quantum Break is a brand new IP. So on one hand, you have people criticizing them because they were saying there wasn't enough new IP. It was just going to be Halo and Gears and things like that. But then when the new IP does come out, it doesn't get a huge. And they marketed that game. They marketed the hell out of that game. I saw that in a lot of spots, and it underperformed. And I think that's got nothing to do with Microsoft. It's much to do with the actual install base. This is why I've always that sales they matter in the sense that you're gonna if you're trying to push a product, you want access to the widest market. And it doesn't matter if you sell beer or if you sell shoes. So or in this case we're talking about video games. But if you sell beer, you can probably sell that anywhere. But you all know what I'm saying.
Yeah. And when I say sales don't matter, I'm saying as a gamer, for me, I don't think they don't matter to me because I still got Quantum Break. Do I need a Quantum Break 2? I don't know because I already had that experience, and so
Right.
I got my Sunset Overdrive, I got my Rise, I got my Quantum Break. You know, what I mean, I'm going to get Scalebound. You know, I'm going to get these games, and so
Yeah.
if Sony shuts down tomorrow, it's not because I know I'm going to find somewhere to play. PC isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
So you know, and I say this, killing anybody else, but I'm selfish in my gaming. In my experience, I'm fine with that. I've experienced Gears of War. I've experienced a lot of games. I've had a great time, and so I don't matter. When it comes to if the consoles were dying, then for me sales would matter. If Sony was dying, then consoles were dying, then it would be like, okay, well, I can see why people feel like sales would matter. But these consoles are both in a position anywhere. Like they're selling enough not to die. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the Xbox is selling enough consoles. Sony is absolutely selling enough consoles to survive. So
Yeah.
going
Now,
anywhere in my
do you feel that that some of the what you just talked about, you personally walking into the store or you order the game, you bringing it into where you're playing at your man cave or whatever, throwing it in there, playing an hour, 2 hours, whatever you got, you know, whatever you set aside. Do you feel that a lot of that, because that's what it's all about,
right?
I mean, I know what you're saying. You're not looking for your validation is you going to buy the game and you enjoying the game.
Right.
You feel that some of the fanboys, because like you said, they're going to talk pop stuff anyway. Do you feel that that's what they're missing out on? You know, as far as
are the fanboys missing out on what? Going to get a sequel, or going to go pick up a game and bring it home?
Well, you feel that they feel like they have to validate what's going on around them in order to quote unquote have fun. I mean,
well,
you don't.
It's, again, like they think of these teams, these games, or companies as sports teams. Like as long as their team is winning, they're going to talk up, you know, whatever they can talk up. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm answering your question correctly, but
nah, you are. That's what I was looking for.
They're treating them like, and that's on both sides. Like,
yeah,
I'm nothing against JRPGs. I just never been a fan of them. But
so you don't like Final Fantasy or Final Fantasy Chrono Cross?
Like the turn. I know it's not turn-based anymore. I know it's not turn-based anymore. When I played one of the Final Fantasy, or one or two of them on the original PlayStation, and I enjoyed one of them, and the other one I just wanted to wait for them to hit me, and then there's this big animation, you know, of a dragon and all that kind of stuff. Like that turned me off from Final Fantasy. If I would enjoy this one or not. That's something that I will have to explore. But generally, I don't. Even when they were on Blue Dragon was on the 360, I popped it in for a minute. Why am I playing this? No, seriously, it's the type of gamer that I am. I'm into it more so for the experience and to just sit home and just have a good experience. And certain games I just don't have a good experience with. And that's just the way I roll, man. That's just it.
Well, I understand. Hey, what up, Grim? Thanks for coming in, and thanks both of y'all coming in on a Sunday night. You know, I do appreciate that. Cycle suited up, even though he's playing hurt. You know, up in here. But what up, Grim? Give yourself a shout out, my brother.
Yo, man, I must be on another plane. I thought it was motherfucking Saturday. Golly. I'd have missed a day. Oh, motherfucking Saturday. Oh, okay. I'm doing all right, I guess. Now I don't know what day we in. Okay.
It's Sunday. It's still on the East Coast. I don't know where you at.
No, it's Sunday. I just thought it was Saturday. I don't know why I thought it was Saturday.
All right. Damn. Lost a day. Well, what's going on, Grim? What do you think about the whole the year review for all the consoles, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo? Do you think what do you grade them on? You know, and then talk a little bit about how the fanboys, you feel like they're kind of taken away, because I was just talking about the Xbox Slim and how Microsoft Microsoft and Sony both treated 4K differently. Sony is putting games out on a system that's going to allow you to enjoy the UHD features. You know, anything above 1080p is UHD. Yes, there's high, low, and medium, I guess. And then, you know, the Xbox, they don't have any 4K games out yet, but they are allowing to do 4K streaming and then 4K UHD movies if that's the way you want to go with it. Do you feel that some of the fanboys got so caught up in what each console could do, checkerboarding, blah, 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 and then the Sony people coming back saying, well, big deal, you're playing UHD on a very low level, instead of people just going out and enjoying the fact that Microsoft extended the life of their console and Sony with VR as well extended the life of their consoles. You want to chime in on that?
I mean, when it comes to fanboy rhetoric, I mean, I don't really got nothing to say about that. That's just how they go. I mean, they gonna say whatever they want to say to make the other side look worse than what it is. Me personally, I can't talk about Nintendo as in the Wii U because I don't have a Wii U and I haven't been paying them pretty much any attention. But I feel like I gotta sneeze, keep coming and going. But anyway, when it comes to the Xbox and PlayStation, I mean, Sony has some games this year, exclusive wise that I play that I like. So has Microsoft. I mean, I can't really say one was necessarily better than the other. They seem pretty good to me. Like if you had an Xbox, you should be straight this year. If you had a PlayStation, you'd be straight this year. I didn't really see the big difference. There was it wasn't like one side was really just killing it compared to the other.
Well, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought both consoles did okay. I mean, they're both moving well as far as they're both enjoying robust sales, things like that. And speaking of the sales, the whole NPD thing, do you all think it's just gotten out of control? I mean, as far as people waiting on the stuff to come in and it's had bragging rights. I mean, because nobody was talking about NPD last generation at all.
I mean, that's again, that goes back to the sports team thing. And for me, like, this shit has been going on since the beginning of this generation. This whole resolution and sales shit. And I've been saying this since day one that, you know, for me, the sales and the resolution and in comparison doesn't really matter. When I bought my PS4 and my Xbox One, I got them both day one. And when I played Killzone and when I played fucking Rise or whatever it was, like I didn't see that big of a difference. I didn't see a difference at all. And people were telling me I'm fucking crazy, I'm blind, I'm this and that because I don't see a difference between 900p and 1080p. But this shit has been going on for 3 years now. And so my thing is, and my message is, why is this shit? Why is it now that we know the Scorpio's coming out? Resolution is not that important anymore. It's about the games now.
As far as, well, I mean, for me, it's always been about the games. I will say this: I'm playing Witcher right now on the Xbox One S, and when it's at nighttime, you know, it has day-night cycles. At nighttime, you can't tell the difference in the PS4 and or the Xbox One, but in the daytime, you can. The colors just don't pop as well in 900p, and it's blurry, especially when the fight scenes are starting. It corrects itself. Let me make that clear. My whole thing is that if you're going to pay the same price, I better get the same performance. That's been my whole thing on resolution. I don't care what it's resolution on. It's just like I went to go see Rogue One over the weekend, and when I paid for it in the big time theater, the theater better shake because I'm paying this amount of money. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, to me, it's always been about games. The Scorpion, my whole thing on that is I don't know what it's going to do. I mean, I know what they want it to do. I understand what they wanted to do in concept, but until I see something physically running on it, then I'll be like, all right, hey, they knocked it out of the park. But until then, it's Bigfoot, you know, as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure it exists.
Honestly,
I'm sure they can do it, but I need to see it.
Yeah, I mean,
well, honestly,
go ahead.
Anyway, this is how I feel. I just hope that both consoles do good because I mean, it's like my thing is if you have one outshining the other's not getting its just due. So I'm hoping that with the Xbox Scorpio, Microsoft really step the fuck up, pick some shit up, and start having more than what they have. Because I used to play Gears, I used to play Halo, never played Forza, but I just think that you need. I think with a more diverse games lineup, that's gonna push more people towards the day one games. Like Cycle said, he don't care about resolution. He just play games. Resolution, but then I don't. I just want my game to be good too. So I just think that if the Xbox Scorpio comes out, PS4 can't do, PS4 Pro can't do. Okay, great. I'm not losing no sleep. You just got more variety to play with, and I just wish more people would see that. Because remember I showed my video, my dead ass 360,
Yeah, I
and
saw
my
that.
damn yeah. I was did that to show people, look, I'm not allied to one particular thing. If it's something that piques my interest, I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna fucking try it. I just wish we had more gamers like that who will buy it and try it. These are important. They're important because it shows and makes how the console and the company is doing when it comes to profit. It's not important because you don't really particularly have fun playing NPD'S. You have fun playing games. And, honestly, generation, it could have been we could have had things a little better, but hey, I'm kind of happy with what the hell we got because this shit could have been fucking worse than what we got now if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? One could have had red rings of death, goddamn PS a light of ugly ass untruths. We could have had all type of shit happen. So,
So JD, when you say Microsoft, oh, sorry,
huh?
go ahead. Never mind, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Ask your question.
I was gonna say when you say Microsoft needs more than what they have, what do you mean? What do you think they should have?
What I mean, here's what I think they should have. Okay, I'm gonna
And stay
PlayStation
right there,
has
wherever you at. Stay right there.
no, I'm going to compare. I'm giving you the definition
Okay.
because what does Microsoft have? It has Forza. It has some third-party titles. It has Halo, but when I look at Sony, they are at least releasing some new IPs here and there. Even the shit might be weird to some people. I think what Microsoft needs to do, and I know it's a studio issue because Microsoft ain't got that many studios. In fact, they ain't got that many studios. I just think that what Microsoft needs to do is use some of the money they got and try to acquire more stuff. Is what I mean, because I know they can do it. They got a bigger cash flow than Sony does. But at the same time, though, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that okay, we got Forza, we got Halo, we got Halo Wars 2, which I kind of don't care about. I'm all Halo now. We got Gears of War 4, which I kind of didn't care about. We just basically what Microsoft is doing with each game that comes out on their console exclusive, it's a refinement of the past one. I mean, we all know sequels are a refinement of the previous games, but Microsoft ain't really got that many RPGs, JRPGs. They just don't have a wide, diverse lineup, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I think
And
that
I
when people
think,
say, diverse lineup, they just mean strictly JRPGs because Microsoft doesn't have a lot of them. But they have a shooter, they got a racer, they had a hack and slasher this generation. I mean, they got a fighter game. They have variety. They just don't have too many JRPGs, and they have one in Scalebound coming out, but they don't have that. And I think the reason why they don't have that is because their analytics say that those games will not sell well on their console. I mean, Sony is a Japanese company, so they have to have those games on their console.
I mean, it's not just that cycle, but what they don't realize is that Sony themselves don't really have any JRPGs. Sony don't make JRPGs. Most of the JRPG, I'm not saying they don't make any. I'm saying most of the JRPGs that come to PlayStation are third-party games. The reason they don't come to Xbox is for obvious reasons. They don't sell on Xbox because that market does not really play them. So what's the point of putting them on there? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just those people don't play that. So,
Well, I think when you look at last generation, I heard somebody say this on YouTube a few hours ago. I can't remember who it was. When it comes to Last Generation, Peter Moore really went out of his way to court those gamers. I mean, you're right. I agree with you as far as the publishing and who's building what. I mean, you're right about that. But do you all feel that Microsoft's lineup is? I mean, to me, it's where it is. To me, they're behind Sony because Sony has a diverse lineup. People can say what they want to say about PlayStation experience. What I saw was a bunch of diverse games. I understand people are going to be like, well, they're not coming out for a year or two or things like that. And I don't care. If it takes you 2 to 3 years to develop your craft, fine. But do you just feel that, so what you all are saying is that, Jay, what you're saying is that Microsoft, you feel, does not have a diverse enough lineup. So this is one reason why they're struggling in, say, Japan and other areas. And I agree with Grim. If the game's not selling on your console, then you're not going to spend millions, and it's millions of dollars to make these games.
Now, I would never say that Sony don't have more Japanese related.
Well, I understand.
They
Yeah,
have more, right? But to say Microsoft is lacking or don't have none, no, you have diversity on the Xbox. The problem is that for some reason people only see Halo, Forza, and Gears. They don't see that Earth Dawn, a side-scrolling action fighter beat 'em up that's also on the PlayStation, and Xbox One. But for some reason, the PlayStation 4 people claim it, but it's on other machines like the Xbox and the PC. That's the thing I don't understand. Well, at least from the fanboy perspective, these people, the thing is, the Xbox dudes probably don't even know to say or claim things because they don't know it exists, because they honestly are true to their word. When they say they don't give a fuck about Japanese shit, they don't give a fuck to the point. I've seen Sony do say, we got these games as if they're exclusive. And I'm like, yo, y'all don't know that this motherfucking shit is on Xbox too? But they don't say nothing. It's like because they probably don't know. And that's the thing. That market doesn't care. Like all the people that look, this gave away Lost Odyssey. I never played Lost Odyssey. Why? Right. Because back when that came out, that was not even on my radar. At that time, I'm pretty sure some Call of Duty was I don't remember what was out. Call of Duty had came out, Gears was out. It was crazy on Xbox. Playing online, playing shooters, that was not on my brain at the time. They give it away. Now I'm into that type of stuff. So they give it away for free. I'm kind of happy. The other person that don't care probably didn't even download it, nor did they even go out their way to click on it. They don't care about Lost Odyssey. They probably don't even know. They probably said, "Why is this free? It's probably trash." So
let me say, okay.
I'm just saying that Microsoft has Japanese games on their platform. So and the cycle is right to an extent, because every time I hear someone say Microsoft ain't got a diverse library, it's normally they talking about the JRPGs or some Japanese related game, but that's all they say. So I mean, that's just from my perspective on it.
Yeah, let me comment on it because I know when I had my 360 Slam, I had both Ace Combat 6, Fires of Liberation, and Combat and Assault Horizon. Those games were Japanese, like Graham said. Both consoles have Japanese games, but it's dependent upon whether one base is gonna play those games and another base isn't. Because I can guarantee you, I was probably one of the few motherfuckers that have Ace Combat on my damn 360. Most people I knew had Gears, goddamn Halo, motherfucking Call of Duty, because those games, not just American games, but you see the shit on a commercial, it's gonna get all type of play. So if you are a fan like me of that series to some degree, you might be able to find a little bit. But if your ass ain't, good fucking luck. Cause I know me and this one guy, I never forget, this shit was funny as hell. It was he was making a comparison between Modern Warfare 2 and Crysis 2. And we went the fuck in. This was like years ago. I said, yeah, you can do this, but in Crysis 2, you can do this, that, and third. When I think about it, the shit was kind of funny because I'm like, wait a minute. Crysis and Call of Duty are two different games. Yeah, they're both shooters, but they're two different games. One is sci-fi, and one is more kind of a quote-unquote realistic military arcade type thing. And and to your point, Grim Punchy, like you were saying, Microsoft has Japanese games just like Sony does. But at the same time, though, like you also said, it depends on. Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we got you.
Anyway, it depends on what the base is gonna play. Soccer might love the shit out of Quantum Break. I might absolutely love Near Automata, but you know, likes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? This kind of, and I think that's what YouTube, huh?
That's another game right there. That Near, for some reason, everybody on PlayStation is screaming Near like it's an exclusive. I'm like, ain't Near on everything except for the Wii U, obviously. I mean, it's on every machine.
Yeah, Near Automata is actually because the first Near was on fucking PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. I think
it did better on. I think it actually did better on Xbox. Maybe not. Maybe initially it did because Near was a fun. That's why I was surprised at the sequel because I remember when Near came out. Within the first couple of weeks, you could find that game for $12 used because so many people didn't buy the game.
Yeah, no.
All of a sudden, years later, it got real popular. I don't know where that shit came from, but.
No, let me say this real quick, because like even though I didn't buy the shit for 360, Nier had a pretty fucking cool ass story, and I'll be the first nigga to tell you, I got some of the soundtrack on my damn phone. I love that shit. I'm like, hell yeah. People like, what's that? Oh, that's Nier. What the fuck is Nier? Oh, it's a game made by the people who did Final Fantasy. For real? Yeah. So Nier, even though Nier had a big fucking cult following. And those are the games I like. You don't have to be the biggest game, but if you got a good goddamn cult following, I will be in that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Microsoft's lineup, if you look at 17, I mean, they're gonna have Scalebound, like Psycho Gamer said, he's gonna buy that. They're gonna have a turn-based shooter and Halo Wars 2, and then they've got Cuphead.
Like this,
all right,
this year from Microsoft, we got what? We got Gears, a hardcore third-person shooter, give you horror mode, all that. Then you got a third-person puzzle action adventure game, you shooting / game. You got what's the game? Recore. You got a third-person.
Third-person action in Quantum Break.
The Racer. You got a Racer. What else did they do?
Zombie game in Dead Rising 4. I don't know if that. I know. There's rumblings of it being multiplat, but we got it though. It's here.
It's multiplat. I mean, really, all their games at this point is fucking multiplat. But the point is Microsoft's delivering different games. So I don't.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I like I said, I just do you feel that they haven't done enough to market that though, and maybe that's one reason why people. Like you said, you say
doesn't matter what they do. It's not going to matter what they do, because there are just certain stigmas that will stick with people and companies forever. I would just, from my knowledge, I was like, only 4 fucking Wii U games came out this year. Nintendo on their website said that like over 200 games came out this year for the Wii. 200, 400. I can't remember. It was so crazy how big the number was. I'm like, how come nobody talking about this? And you talk to Nintendo fans that know, we know that a lot of games came out this year. And I'm like, well, I mean, if the media ain't gonna say nothing or no one's enticed to speak up loud enough, then everybody's just gonna keep thinking it was only 4 games that came out this year. And that's nobody's fault. Can't do nothing about that. Nintendo advertised that more than 4 games came out this year.
There's always some kid and his mom at GameStop that's buying something for Nintendo. I'm like, what is that? But you're right. I mean, that's what you're into. That's what you're into. Do you think that? Ram, let me ask you. I mean, you said something earlier about. I asked about NPD'S earlier. Do you think that? Let me ask you. I mean, because these consoles have been out on the market for 36 months. There's been 36 NPD'S on these consoles. By my remedial math skills, Sony has won 29 NPD'S. So do you think that they should the Sony folks should just quit talking about NPD, because all it is like a bait and switch thing. I'm trying to go into 2017 with I'm wanting the whole console war thing, if you want to call it that, to end. Do you feel that the Sony folk and this is for everybody, and I'll start with you, Grim. You should feel the Sony folk just shouldn't even talk about NPD anymore, because if you're playing and you like what you're playing, that's all that counts, like Cycle was saying earlier.
I mean, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop because of what happened last year. This is all, you know, I know this sounds crazy, but this is just the truth. It's hurt people trying to hurt people that hurt them. Like last generation, people did talk about NPDs on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, because people were participating in the console war thing. Now, in the beginning, it was a bunch of people who barely gamed arguing over console shit, right? They got in the game in last generation, but you knew these people barely gamed, and it was actually comedic. What happened was the people who are in the gaming, and I would say, you know, because I'm in the gaming, but I'm not crazy. People that are crazy and they're in the gaming, they took it seriously. So they felt hurt all last generation, especially the Sony dudes that are real diehards. They couldn't say they won NPD. They could say they won worldwide, you know, every now and again, but then, you know, Microsoft would be beating them so bad in America alone, it still didn't look that hot, even if they could say it won worldwide. So now this year, this generation, they can say they won NPD, and they're not going to not say it because they were tired of hearing it all last generation. They're going to say it until they don't say it as long as they can say it. It's just like the whole thing, graphics and resolution, all that don't matter. Yeah, it doesn't. Now let's go to it doesn't matter to me. Now let's go from what I know of the fanboy wars and what happened last generation and this generation. Any Xbox dude that was around last generation can't say that because they were saying that shit last generation. Now the Sony dudes get to say it because now they supposedly have the better machine, right? You know what I'm saying? That it's just a tit for tat thing, and like I said, I know this sounds crazy, but these people are generally hurt by what people said, so they're not going to not say it. They're going to do as much damage as they can. Now, let's say a new generation comes, or according to Microsoft, they ain't doing generation no more. But let's say hypothetically, Scorpio comes out. It's better than the Pro. Better than well, then you know the Sony dudes are going to say it's about the games, right? And let's just say hypothetically, somehow, some way, Microsoft gets just as many games as PlayStation and as much as diversity. And let's just say the only other than exclusives, right? They have the same library of games. That'll probably never happen. But let's just say hypothetically, third party wise, they get all the same games, right? You know what the Sony dudes would say then? Well, our games are real exclusives because your games go to PC too. Like it's always going to find some reason to say my thing is better than yours.
Well, let me ask you something real quick about the Scorpio. This based on what nobody really knows, just kind of an educated guess. If it's supposed to do VR and it's supposed to do 4K native gaming, and I guess it's going to be backwards compatible, what is it doing that the Pro's not doing? Because I'm telling you right now, the Pro does 4K native gaming. I point you to Skyrim and a handful of other games. And it doesn't do all of them, but it can do it. And it has a VR system out right now, a dedicated VR system.
Well, this is what is the Pro doing that the Xbox One S didn't do? You know what I'm saying? Because in the end, the Xbox One S does 4K.
Not on games, not in gaming.
It does. It will upscale your games to 4K.
Okay, that's all right. Well, I'm not all right. Fine. I mean, I have one, and if it's upscaling the games that I got to 4K, that's fine.
It upscales all your games to 4K. So, I mean, that's the first. Let's just say that's the first known brand 4K gaming console that came out. Right. The Pro does native 4K. On
some stuff. Let's clear.
On some games, it's native 4K. And on, I think most of the games that do the native 4K, it does run at a higher resolution than 1080p. That's a step up from the Xbox One S. Let's say, hypothetically, the Scorpio is a step up from the Pro, right?
All right.
In the end, all it is just 4K jargon. If the people don't care about 4K, then it's not probably going to happen. Now, I remember you were saying something about the movies and the HD thing. I don't know about the movie industry, but you did bring up something about Disney. That was a little weird. You were saying Disney doesn't do the 4K Ultra Blu-rays, right?
Well, as of right now, they're not converting. And I just said Disney Studio, in the last 18 months, have had the last 3 biggest movies in the world. and they're not converting anything to UHD.
Well, that makes sense because Disney was the slowest to convert to Blu-ray because you got to remember Disney makes movies for children, and children don't particularly care if the movie's in 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, VHS. Kids
Well,
don't
but
care.
Disney also owns Marvel, the Marvel property, and it owns the Star Wars property. So you would think, if anything, the Star Wars property, because Star Trek is in UHD by Paramount. The Paramount did go. Warner Brothers put they're putting, Suicide Squad is in UHD, and so is Batman v Superman, and I think they did Man of Steel. Disney is driving the bus though, and they have not converted yet. You're right about the cartoon stuff, but
superheroes are. I know there's adults that like it, but that's also children. That's
but you're looking at movies.
What I'm basically saying is that
go ahead.
Disney's bread and butter is always going to be the cartoony stuff. So if they're not pushing, they just acquired Marvel and they just acquired LucasArts not too long ago. If Disney as a unit is not putting their movies in Blu-ray, then they're not going to, 4K Blu-ray, they're not going to just selectively do some. They're probably waiting because a lot of people don't realize that the market for 4K ain't really big.
Yeah,
the interest is not really there either because, like, I've never, like, people say 4K is just as popular as 1080p or 720p. That's not true. You
can look at NPD, and not to interrupt you. One of the things NPD did show, everybody got so caught up in the Game Boy bullshit. One of the things it did show was that the conversion of people going from Blu-ray to UHD, it's non-existent. So you're going to have, that's a problem. I don't care what you're doing. It's like when I got stuck with the Sony, not the Sony CD, the laser disc. And I really feel that UHD hard stuff like the movies, it could go the way of the laser disc. The laser disc had superior sound, superior picture. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
4K is not catching on like that, and it's so cheap. And people say it's cheap. This is the crazy thing. It's cheap because technology is moving so fast. That's not how shit works. First of all, if technology moves so fast, what is better than 4K? Because you're insinuating that technology is moving so fast that 4K is slowly becoming obsolete. What's better than 4K? I've seen some 8K stuff. 4K is not new, first of all. It's becoming more mainstream. But I've seen 8K stuff. Even that shit ain't, nobody's buying that either. It's too expensive. Nobody wants
I'm not saying it's becoming obsolete. I'm saying the conversion rate.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying there are people that say, well, the reason it's cheap is because
I got you. All right.
Technology is moving so fast. And no, it's cheap because no one's buying it. And they have to, like when I'm seeing 60 inch 4K HD TVs, and it's not they got like the bootleg 4K where it's really 3K and they say it's 4K. No, this is real 4K TV, and they selling it for $300. $300 for 60. And I know those are sales and deals during the holiday. That's a crazy sale. That's a stupid sale.
What brand is
it? It don't really matter what. It don't matter what. Unless, not really. Not really. Not really. It really doesn't matter because I remember the Ching Chang Chong fucking. I'm not gonna be funny, but the different Asian brand TVs that come out the woodwork. When HD was coming out, those motherfuckers still like $1,000. You couldn't find them for dirt cheap. It don't matter.
You're right about that. You're right.
Even the low end HD TVs, you were at least pulling out at least $700, $800 out your pocket.
With the 1080p TV, so like when Samsung and Sony and all of them had them 1080p's, and at the time, what's the new kid on the block?
The OLED?
Vizio.
Oh,
Vizio was undercutting everybody by hundreds of dollars because they were an unknown brand, and so with unknown brands, they try to get their brand out there by undercutting everybody. So that's just what they do.
How much was Vizio selling?
I remember I wasn't paying no attention. But people would come to me and be like, "You paid $1,500 for your TV? I got me a Vizio for $700."
I
remember that shit.
But wait, I just said you were still paying about $700. That's still a lot of money, especially for that time. You paying $300 for a 60-inch 4K.
I mean,
TV.
it was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Nah,
Yeah, it was 4 years ago. Yes, yeah. It was
Hey,
3 4 years ago. It was
I-
like right before the Xbox One.
How about my
No,
7100 series
no.
Samsung?
I'm talking about 2006. I'm talking like long ago.
Talking that.
I'm talking far, like in the beginning. This is the beginning of the 4K. Well, 4K was around a couple years ago, but I'm talking about 4K is around. Let's say it's been out for 3 years. In 3 years, you could not find a 60-inch HD TV, 720p at that. Even if they even had them for $300, it wasn't happening. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
right. I remember the video.
They're getting so cheap. It's to the point they're giving these motherfuckers away.
Speaking of cheap, I know I went to Walmart. What was this shit? About a week and a half back. You know y'all know those Roku TVs, right?
Yeah.
You know they selling them motherfuckers for $1.25 now.
What kind of TV?
Roku. It's a Roku. It's a 32-inch Roku. Because the department manager who I'm cool, he said, "Man, shit, I got this TV for $125." And I said to myself, "For real?" He said, "Look, I looked down, boy. The pallet of them bitches was damn nigga. It was like what 5, 6 left." I'm like, "God damn!" But yeah, man. Like, because I know some people talk shit about Vizio, but Vizio be undercutting the shit out damn Samsung because their stuff just happens to be cheaper. You know, like when I go buy stuff, I don't always necessarily go buy name brand. I tend to buy shit what my damn wallet can afford. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what most people do.
I had a motherfucker tell me, "Nigga, you bought that lame ass goddamn TV. That shit ain't gonna last." And that TV broke a month later. I said, "How the fuck it feel you spend a stack on that TV but you ain't pay your goddamn rent?" And they get looking at me all cross-eyed and shit. I said, "Yeah, I bought a cheap ass TV, but it still works. But that Roku TV, if I had the cash, if I was working my other gig making me some paper right now, shit, I would have bought one." And by the way, I do have a computer business starter for everybody who want to know. I do PC building, I get rid of viruses, clean, I do all that shit. So yeah, that's my side hustle right there.
Well, nothing wrong with that. Well, so let me ask you all this about HDR. Somebody just tweeted me this question. This is about HDR. Do you all feel that was a big sale for this year for nothing? Meaning that HDR, when it comes to gaming, I know what it looks like when it comes to movies, but when it comes to gaming, do you feel that HDR was an oversell when people were talking about getting TVs? Because there's not, if no more games come out this month, and I'm assuming it's not, there's only maybe 7 games that are using the HDR. Maybe. And I know the Pro's going to pack some stuff in, but that won't be till next year. But do you all feel, let me start with you, Grim, do you feel that some HDR stuff was just blown up, bigger than it should be?
Yeah, because the best place to see, I would say to go to see like how good these TVs because they calibrate and everything. Go to Best Buy. Go to a Best Buy, and they normally have like this movie theater section area where like they set up these like living room arrangements with these nice TVs, and they actually have where you could see like one side of the screen is 4K HDR, the other side is 1080p standard def, and no HDR, and you could see the differences, and it's really even for me that likes technology, I'm just like, it looks clearer and the colors look a little bit better. Is it worth this $1,000-some-odd television? No, right?
Oh.
So I don't think HDR, and then for gaming, there's so much input lag right now with these TVs and HDR and gaming. Unless you can deal with the fact that you playing a game and you press the button. Let's just say you playing, I don't know, some fighting game, and you press the button to block, but the TV don't show you the image of you block until like seconds later. It feels like a disconnect. I don't see those better colors ain't gonna matter after a while, unless they can make it more practical and make it so that you can there's less input lag, that it's playable and all that stuff. And the TVs that have it are cheaper because HDR can be on other TVs other than 4K. Right now, I think they're using HDR as a gimmick to push 4K. I wouldn't be surprised if some years later, especially if 4K still don't move, you don't see some HDR 1080p TVs. I wouldn't be surprised, or like some real cheap HDR 4K TVs. But right now, I mean, it looks nice. I'm not saying it doesn't. It's just I don't think the average person, the average gamer, cares.
Right. What do you think about it, Cycle?
Well, I can't really speak on it. I haven't really experienced HDR yet, but from people and the analysts is that it's very well worth it. That's what I keep hearing. So, but I don't know. I don't know if it's being oversold or not, because I haven't experienced it.
Now, do you have a your Samsung TV? Do you have a 71 series? This 1080p 240 hertz? Is that what you had?
No, it's 1080p 240 hertz.
Yeah.
All right,
So how you like?
Is it 240 hertz? I don't know. It's I love it, man. I mean, this is how TVs work, man. Like, you think you have the best shit until you see other TVs, the newer TVs. From what I've experienced at Best Buy, those TVs look good, but they're not like that much better than the TV that I have. I mean, from what I'm looking at,
Right.
that I don't know. It just looks, my TV looks really good. It operates really good. I move here in like 2 weeks, and so I may end up getting another TV sometime next year. I haven't really seen anything. Cause I might get a TV just to have what I have right now. It's like a 55-inch or something, or 50-inch, one of those. But for a bigger TV in the living room, but it doesn't look astronomically than what I have right now. So
yeah, I got my eye on a 55-inch. It's like the 6350 Samsung. It's only 120p, but damn, it looked good. They were playing Avatar on it at the shop I was at, and I'm like, I may come back and pick this up after Christmas. But go ahead, Jesse. Do you feel that HDR has been a gimmick as far as gaming? Now, look, I played Gears. I turned on my HDR. There were some scenes in there that looked, but Grim's right about the lag. I mean, there was some times where I shot stuff and nothing moved, and then I looked back at it, it was blowing up. So, but yeah, how do you feel about HDR? I'm not dissing the game. Look, I like the game, but he is right about the HDR. So, but how do you feel about HDR, Jesse? As far as it being a gimmick, you feel people should wait because the TV starting in March. This is for the TV announcement. Starting in March of 17, all the TVs that came out in 16 are going to come down like 25%. So in March is roughly when everybody gets their income taxes down. But go ahead, Jay. What do you think about the whole HDR gaming thing for 2016?
First off, can y'all hear me all right?
yeah.
All right. This is how I feel about HDR. HDR really is not a new concept. Half-Life 2 on PC use HDR. And the shit looked fucking fantastic. But at the same time, there's a Graham's point. Input lag can fuck your game all the hell up. Now, here's how I feel about HDR. As with any technology that's been around for a while that's trying to implement this stuff, it's going to gradually come. But the HDR thing does help games, but at the same time, motherfuckers use that shit to make a killing. Same thing with this whole 4K thing, because like I said, me and my homeboy girlfriend got into it about the PS4 4K. Over this completely native 4K. I'm like, it's native 4K based on what assets you're using. I'm like, if it's really native, your pixel files are gonna be bigger. But I think the HDR thing is a fucking hype train. But at the same time, I say give it a couple years, we'll see the technology actually start to mature. Just like the whole thing with 4K, we'll see the shit actually mature. Because I know there's a video card out now called the AMD Fury, and this motherfucker does 4K like no other. But at the same time, the card's like damn near a couple $1,000. So who wants to spend $1,000 on a goddamn video card just to get 4K? But I think really the whole 4K HDR thing that's cool, but at the same time, it's also a selling point to get people to go out and buy shit they may not necessarily need. Because I know, I think my sister-in-law got me a TV. Her and my brother, who her husband, got me a TV for Christmas. It might not be no damn 4K, But motherfucker, I'm happy because I ain't got to worry about looking at the goddamn box I'm looking at no more. I get my own flat screen, biatch. So, again, the whole thing with the HDR and 4K to me is more of it's kind of now it's more of a sales pitch than anything else. It's like, yeah, we're trying to get the USD market going, but I think like you and Grandpachi said, the USD market really is not that big because everybody still got 1080p TVs. You know what I'm saying? And like Cycle said, some of that shit you really can't see unless you really, 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 really paying attention to it. So I think 4K and HDR is good, but at the same time, it's kind of a fucking gimmick. So yeah, that's my take on it.
All right. Well, and what you just said there is exactly why the Pro doesn't have a UHD player on it. That's exactly right. They got the same analytical data projecting that the UHD market physical sales. I'm not talking about the streaming. The physical sales aren't going to do that well. And guess what? Their analytics were correct. But I like the fact that Microsoft
you can say the same
Sony,
thing.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cycle.
The same thing for Microsoft when they said that things are heading in the digital direction, and so they want to go.
Yeah, I do like the fact that Microsoft gave us the opportunity to enjoy it in a physical manner because there's some people who don't want to move off that. I understand that. I just thought that a lot of the fanboys got so caught up in the other BS that they were like, hey, look, this is actually a pretty good thing for somebody who doesn't want to do digital stuff. Like me, I don't like ordering stuff from Amazon. Now, my niece, she does it like you get up and breathe. This is what she does. So, but I'm old.
That's the thing.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
To what Grim was saying, and this was my opinion was I feel like, so I wasn't even on YouTube before, I guess in 2013, I wasn't even on YouTube, but I was on years. And I can see how salty were. Like I used to go to UNFG and just laugh. Like just it was funny to me how people were arguing over this shit. But to me, I used to just go there and just be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I just laugh. I felt like everything that Microsoft did to whatever hatred has already, had. So I don't know. That's my opinion on it. For me, they gave the best option. They gave you the option to buy a physical disc, and you still were able to have something tangible in your hand. But that was something that had to be done in their eyes in order to make sure people weren't stealing games.
Yeah, I get that. Well, let me ask you this. Let me tell you something, something that I got from a Microsoft employee, and he kept it. Matter of fact, it wasn't it was a she. She flat said, she said, Craig, she said, you can tell everybody this. She said, Microsoft isn't perfect. Neither is Nintendo. Neither is Sony. But at E3 2013, Sony got more right than we did. And we're going to pay for it until we make up for it with a new generational console. Period. That was her message. She said everybody at Microsoft knows that. As far as in the Xbox division. Yeah, go ahead.
Shit, boy, I ran into a dude from Xbox division at GameStop, but I just started asking some questions, right? And you know what he was like? He was like, man, those are some good questions. I said, it's not a matter of good questions, man. It's called what you're going to do now. I said, now you know your competitors going ahead. What you got to do now, you got to figure out how to get ahead. He's like, yeah, but if you think about what we did 2013, we shot ourselves in the foot. And this was back last year. I said, man, look, that was 2 years ago. What you do from this point on now can define everything that you do for the better. So I would say stop focusing on the 2 years from now and focus on making shit that's going to make your box sell. And he's like, man, I wish we had people like you at Microsoft. I said, no, the fuck you don't, because there'd be a lot of mad motherfuckers right there dealing with me.
Well, I think the problem that they had is one was the price. and I don't care what your product is. Like I said, I'm a great example. Just think of Craig Harris. I've got a Sony laser disc. That thing was $699 when I bought it. It's the first thing I bought with my Sears credit card. So and that's how old I am. Sears don't exist no more. That's how old I am. So, but think of the price point. It didn't matter that the Laserdisc had a better picture. It didn't matter that Sony was a big brand and everybody knew about. The thing did not go well. Microsoft finally started turning things around, and everybody can check this out. Go to last November, Black Friday, when they dropped that damn thing down to what, $349? Was it $340 or $329? When they dropped their Xbox down to $329, $349, it moved. Now, one of the first things Phil Spencer did when he got in that chair was he dropped it to $399, and that system moved. And then, like the very next week, it came out to $349. Then about 2 weeks after Christmas, it went back up to $399. And guess what? Stagnant. So what the consumers were telling him, what they told Microsoft is, in so many words, with their dollars, your system isn't as strong as the PlayStation. It better not be as expensive. As soon as they made it cheaper, it moved.
Exactly.
So that's how consumers think. The fanboy thinks that, and now with the Xbox One S, I thought that was perfect, except it doesn't have any Bluetooth capability. But that's just me complaining about something small. You know,
Craig.
Yeah, go ahead,
Craig.
bro. Yeah.
What you just said. I was getting ready. I know my mic was fucking up at the time, but I was getting ready to kick my ass at the time when I said this. But I said exactly what you just said. It wasn't about the games. It wasn't about Sony had. When you look at the grand scheme, it was about.
Well, now you're breaking up.
And
you're breaking
it's more
up.
powerful than the X.
Go ahead. I'm listening. You're breaking up. Go ahead.
It was about I can get a PlayStation that's more powerful, and I can get it at a cheaper price. In the grand scheme of things, they weren't saying I can get to the Xbox. It was never about.
Yeah. If the gist of what you're saying is simple, everybody take off the fanboy stuff. You walk into a store, you're like, man, I want a next gen console because whatever, but I'm not for sure what to get. And this is something that Rich Review Tech said. You come in at $499, and it's like, all right, this is $499, but you see the PlayStation at $399, and you ask the clerk, what's the difference? And they say nothing. And then all of a sudden, this is when they first launched, all of a sudden you realize, well, I can get another joystick with the money I save, or better yet, I'm just going to save $100. That's the price point. It doesn't matter what Microsoft is. It doesn't matter. It's Microsoft. I mean, everybody's got to remember the price point was wrong. Nobody knew about the power. That was the power stuff came out later. Came out like 2 months later. But the price point is what done them in, and that's what I got told by a Microsoft rep.
Let me say this.
I'm gonna tell you what really fucked Microsoft over, and a lot of people take the credit away from the consumer. You gotta keep in mind that Microsoft fucked themselves over with every step they pulled. The DRM, the movie. Let me show you. What's the show? Where they spin the wheel? You got to guess the prices and shit.
Price is right.
Price is right. Let me tell you. Let me tell you what. Because you got to remember, in the beginning, like remember when the Wii U first dropped, it sold very well. Those are the gamers. You got some casuals, mixed in, but those are the gamers. When people who really fuck with Microsoft was saying we ain't buying your shit no more because of the bullshit they were doing, and then you got to remember those people tell the normal people, the average consumer, don't buy an Xbox One, buy a PlayStation. Everybody that fucked them up real bad too, because even if a lot of your supporters are telling other people not to support you no more, especially to the average person that probably don't give a damn anyway, because even people I know that don't even game was like, I heard that Microsoft is trying to spy on you with the Connect through the Xbox One. What is this thing? I'm like, how did you not even pitch the game?
Yeah, where'd that shit come from?
But see, that's
Shit
no.
come from?
I know it was so much negativity around Microsoft at that time. No, there was some shit about the Kinect spying on you, and because they bust them for that. They didn't get. I didn't think they get in prison.
This is the thing with that.
Hmm?
This is what I was saying in like my old videos and shit like that. But if you go on Yahoo right now, you type in Air Jordans, right? If you type that in, and a couple days later or the next day, if you go on Yahoo, you start seeing ads for. You didn't type it in, you're gonna see that stuff. And so that's what Microsoft was trying to do. Your PC and on your phone and shit like that, they were trying to push box. So if they say you watched a certain movie or whatever, they were going to for that movie in the corner and say, hey, would you like to try this out? Would you like to try that out? That's what they were doing. They weren't spying on you in your everyday life.
There was information that was brought out that there was plans for that was something that was planned to be done.
Are you sure that's factual?
No, because everything you're saying right now, right? Microsoft can do that without a Kinect. If I buy a game on the Xbox store and you keep seeing I'm buying shooters, well, maybe Grimpachi likes shooters, so let me advertise some shooters. They could do that today. You don't need no Kinect to do that.
Yeah.
And the big thing the big thing that was coming out was that they pick up your voice and they remember your face, because remember the whole thing where you come in the room and they could see that whole shit about you be watching a pay-per-view event and they could tell you got too many people in the room, so they'll like ask for more money. That wasn't like just some bullshit. That was real. That was stuff that was coming out for people who use the machine. Saying that this was behind the scenes. They were saying this it was a lot. Remember the Xbox One was supposed to be able to read your heart rate when you snipe bullets in the that wasn't shit people made up. That was shit they showed. That was shit. I thought that shit. Look, I never gave a fuck about.
They were saying that was for advertisement. For advertisement.
They showed them playing a game, and they were like, when you snipe in this game, it's gonna read your heart rate somehow, and then your gun would sway because you're nervous. I'm like, yo, I don't care about the Kinect, but that sounds crazy. I might have to fuck with that. But then that shit didn't come out to be true. There was a lot of stuff that Microsoft was doing that they were on an extra level of fuckery. Extra level. And then if you go back and read, let me tell you what's worse. Go back and actually read the policies they had before. There's a part in the policy, right, where they say you have the choice to, like, basically what was going to happen before is that the Xbox One, I don't know how this is supposed to happen. The way they described it, their own words, you had the choice to put the game in and install it or not. Now, if you installed it, then all that DRM shit would happen. But if you didn't install it, it would just work kind of like how 360 or PS3, where you put the disc in and it just ran, right? But then you don't have access to that game anywhere you go or anything like that, right? But you still had to check in 24 hours. Now, that's crazy. Honestly, if they told me right now, listen, the 24-hour check-in was only for the people that decided they wanted to download and make sure their library goes wherever they wanted, then you had to check in 24 hours. I still think 24 hours is too much, but okay, at least I had the option to say, well, I don't want to do anything. I just want to play my shit like any other console before it. Cool. But they would still make you check in even if you didn't want to use those features. That's also what, like, I think if that policy shit, that they could have did everything they wanted to do if it was reasonable. Telling someone they got to check in 24 hours on everything, even if they don't want to use the shit and it's not needed, well, then why you make me do that?
Let me say this.
Do you unplug your console from your Ethernet cable?
Yes. I mean, what does that have to do with anything? Why you know? This is the thing. This is the thing, though, that I think people are misunderstanding. All these people that's really online and connected. Just wait the day. Listen, I've already experienced it because I was just like you guys. I was just like you guys, and I was like, "What's the big deal? I'm always online." Wait till that one magical day where some idiot hits the line in your neighborhood and your internet's out, but your power on, and you like, man, I still want to play my game. I'll play single player. You can't play single. You can't do shit, and it doesn't make any sense. Whatever day the day it happens to you, where you realize, damn, I have a $60 game in my hand, and I need the internet. I already know I need power, and I already know I need a TV. This is obvious, but I need the internet to play single player. Okay, this is fucking insane.
Let me say this real quick too to add to what you were saying. About the whole DRM thing, I was like, okay, DRM can work on PC because PC is a more open environment, but on the console, it's more closed in. You know what I'm saying? And people like, what do you mean by closed in? I'm like, when you're dealing with a console, you're using proprietary shit. PC, you're not using proprietary shit. You're using everything on PC. So it's like, and this may sound crazy because I actually saw the reports myself. Like, there was an incident where, Microsoft basically allowed the U.S. government to basically come into your Xbox Live to see who's doing what. I mean, they've been doing this since last generation. You know what I'm saying? So, spied on through their system isn't nothing new. Hell, fuck, they can spy on me through my damn cell phone. Right? All I gotta do is tap into it. All I gotta do is like, okay, his phone's up. His phone has a GPS. We know the fuck JD33 at. You know what I'm saying? That's not a new thing. But at the same time, though, the fuckery of the whole thing came about when it started being console gaming. And I remember GameStop now basically was like, matter of fact, it was a representative from GameStop, and Adam Wartech got into it. And Adam Wartech said some stupid shit like deal with it. And the GameStop's guy was like, well, matter of fact, when GameStop was Byron, like, what the fuck are you doing? And like, if you do that, you're gonna push a lot of people away from your console. And they're gonna go to your competitor. And I just sat there. I ain't say nothing. I just looked at it. I just looked and see what was happening. And next thing I know, more and more people who were on 360. Well, I don't really give a fuck about the console. I play whatever. More and more people who are hardcore Xbox said, "Man, fuck this shit. We go on PlayStation." And that's another reason why PlayStation. Huh?
Man, that's crazy because I was the probably the only person on earth who was like pissed off when they took all them policies back, man. Because for me, like I always buy all the consoles, and so I wanted something different. I don't want two of the same things in my house. I just didn't want that, and so believe it or not, what I said in my head was the PlayStation 4 was going to be my main console, and I'm going to try out the Xbox One and see how this whole digital thing works, because it seems like it's cool, but I don't know. So, and when they took all the policies back, I just felt like they were holding, or the fans or whoever the people were holding back advancements in gaming, because believe it or not, same things when they did that with the Ethernet port. Putting an Ethernet port in all Xboxes. People were saying that, people don't care about people that can't do this and do that. Now look at every fucking console has an Ethernet port on it. And so for me, I felt like, damn.
Natural progression to like this shit that Microsoft was
that's
trying
to happen. Digital is going to take over.
No, it's not. Nothing ever fully takes over nothing. There are more. I'm telling you, there are more people buying music digitally than physically. That means that's a takeover. 14 million physical copies of Call of Duty. You think they're not going to want those 14 million people to purchase that game? Listen, I'm not saying it's really going to go away. Well, this is what I'm saying. It's not even going to get to the point where it's the majority. PC market is a lot different than the console market.
Okay.
Majority of PlayStation 4 owners don't even have PlayStation Plus.
Yeah,
which could insinuate that those people probably don't even game online.
And I can tell you why, because the original PlayStation and maybe the PlayStation 2. I know the original PlayStation did not have internet.
No, I mean, no, it didn't. But I mean, what I think people don't understand is that like we TVs on the market. You would think, well, who wants that? There are people that want that. There are people who don't care. There are people who like the things that they like, and I'm letting you guys know it'll never be this digital, because what happens is people like to have something to hold.
Yeah, I agree. That's
now
me.
The music scene is a little bit different, because people are, ever since like Napster and all that shit and the fucking what do you call those things? The fucking ringtones. And when that shit blew up, music became so whatever-ish. Most people, their value out of music is actually going to the events and stuff. Most people steal music. They go to YouTube, listen to it. They don't. Music is different from games. It's not the same thing. Most people buying their games, they're buying them. And on the PC market, you don't really have a choice. You can only buy it digitally for the most games. But people buy physical on consoles.
I'm not trying to take a shot at you because you're younger, but I've seen this for as long as I've been around. CDs came out, I just buy the tape. When CDs got cheaper than tapes, That's what happened. Then people start transitioning. If you would have came 1995 and said that all your music, we're going to put Apple and we're going to make music digital, people would have. As time goes by, people get more accepting to technology and how things work because they grew up in that world where
You're
things were more.
You're comparing a physical object being replaced by another
trying to-
physical object.
I'm trying to tell you how.
A digital
Well,
object.
I'll tell you how
The digital object
Go ahead.
replacing the physical object. That's not finna go down as smoothly as you may think. You're talking
okay, it happened in the music scene. It happened. I'm not ever trading
They
in my
still make
disc.
CDs. Hold on, what are you talking about? They still make
I want a
CDs?
heart. I'm not.
Oh,
Look,
what are you talking
not
about?
understanding. I'm not saying that's go away. There are going to be people that buy CDs. A takeover is when you have. It's not that the thing goes over the market. You taking over it. And then music digital has taken over because you can buy it a la carte. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Where's the idea that the digital is doing better than the physical right now? Nothing.
I'm trying to tell you where the trend is going.
I mean, a trend. No, I'm just saying a trend can go wherever it wants to go, but if the trend ain't making money, if the trend is making right, but they keep seeing that, damn, we making hands over physical with physical. Fuck a trend. What is that supposed? Unless they have some type of agenda themselves where they want to push the trend, which could happen. They're gonna go with what's making the money, and right now, physical and digital are making money. As a matter of fact, we don't even have traces of the digital sales. We don't even know how well digital does for most of these companies.
Well, the companies know because they have analytical departments. But as far as the public, you have to really want to know. You have to know the companies that track it. And then, but I agree. I think that as far as digital stuff, look at like digital stream. Look at Netflix. You can stream stuff in 4K, but they do charge you for it now. I agree with Grim. I think one day you'll be able to call Netflix and your regular streaming is going to be the same as your 4K streaming. At that point, it's mainstream. But until that day happens, I'm more of a physical guy. I think it depends on your generation. I don't want to download something digitally. I just don't want to do it. That's just but my niece is different. She's got a bank account for PayPal only. I don't even know what the heck PayPal is.
How many generations younger is she than you? How much younger is she? That's
my niece. Oh boy, she's over. It's a generation. It's over 20 years. That's one generation. They measure generation at 21 to 22.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like she grew up in a different era.
Well, I'm in the same generation as his niece.
I mean, different people are different people.
What I'm saying is that they still make new vinyl pieces of music. Vinyl.
Yeah.
Things don't just go away. Now tape. A lot of people probably don't even have a tape recorder or a tape player in their CD car or whatever anymore. So yes, tape has went away. Tape was replaced by CD, right? Digital and physical won't replace one another. I don't even think it will one will outshine one another. I think it's going to hit a point where they become very balanced because there's so much with digital that people don't particularly like. You got to think games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. People are now, when I was growing up, we didn't have no internet data cap. Now they're trying to give us data caps. Now you can only have so many gigabytes a month. So now I got like, let's say Call of Duty, right? That's 100 some odd gigs. I only get 300 gigs a month. That's damn near half my shit. And no one's going to do all that. Nobody wants to fuck with all that. Now, if I have the disc, I don't have to be online to install it. I still have to install it, but it's off the disc. There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff with digital. They will have to get the internet shit fixed out first. It's not going. It's not going.
Of course. Okay, so if it's not going to happen, how did it happen in the PC market? How?
Because
let's start off.
No, in the physical and the PC market, anything physical you can always get digital because it's just software. Just software
That
on a
wasn't
physical
like that
platform.
always. It was not like that always.
Anything that was on a physical piece of disk, right? Like a tape or whatever, or what you call it, a floppy disk. You can find all that's just software put on something that's considered hardware. It's not. It
Graham,
was always there. Do you
it's
not know?
not always like that, brother.
What do you
Okay.
mean it's not always like? Do you not realize that your PlayStation? Let's just all right. Your PlayStation game, right? You know, there's just software on a disk, right? So when you
Sure.
want a computer software that's made on the computer, and they have these sites where you can go get the software, and you don't need the disk or whatever you need to put in your computer, it's always available to you, whether it be legal or illegal. It's there.
So what is your excuse
That's not true.
for the reason why?
That's
No,
not.
I'm saying, what is your excuse? I'm asking you, what is your excuse for majority of PC gamers buying their games digitally now?
Because number one, it's cheap. Number two, they used to steal things.
There you go. There you go.
What I don't. What do you mean? There
Listen
I go.
to me, man. The moment these companies drop the price for the digital content, when people can look at this and say, I can get this game for $45, or I can get it for $60 physical, or I can get it for $45 digital.
No, actually on PC, it was never. There were companies that did it, but normally, if you went and bought the physical compared to the just buying it downloaded, it was normally cheaper downloaded anyway. It wasn't always 1-to-1 pricing, just physical or digital.
Once the sells, all right.
Going in and out. What you say?
This is what sells in price. Convenient for someone. And once you make something easy for somebody to use, this is also what Samsung and Apple, as a matter of fact, are making something simple and making it affordable. Once it's simple and affordable, once people don't have to get up and go out and go buy a video game, and it's cheaper to stay at home and just download it, I guarantee you,
But that's how it is.
disappear. I'm not saying it's going to disappear. No, it's not. Not on console.
Listen what I'm saying. That's how it is today. It is very simple for someone to go and download Call of Duty Black Ops 3. It's not hard. It's very simplistic. But still 14 million some odd people bought it physically. That means that
you're forgetting that the price is the same.
That they could simply just put their debit or credit card in, or potentially go to any convenience store and go find a PlayStation card, because you don't even have to go to a game store. You can go to the damn grocery store and get a PlayStation card, and you could have downloaded the game.
That the price is the same. That's
it doesn't matter if the price is the change. The fact that
the price always matters, sir.
No.
Always.
It doesn't matter that the price is the same.
It always matters.
On PC, listen, on PC, there were times where prices are the same too, and they're not cheaper. It's 1-to-1, but because of the convenience, you just buy it digitally. As you said, no, this is your words.
No.
Because of the convenience. So why not because of the convenience? Why still past the convenience and all that? 14 million people still bought the Call of Duty physically.
Okay, so when you talk to PC gamers, what do they say? Why spend $60 on this game when I can get it on Steam for?
But that's not always the case. Again,
it's not always the case. It's not
okay.
But
and on top of that, you're saying
but it's not. I'm not
saying
saying it's always. What I'm saying is the majority of their games, are cheaper on PC.
No, you're not listening. You're saying it backwards, because you said, why would you buy it here when you go to Steam? Steam doesn't sell it for cheap. They only sell it for cheap during sales. If you were to get, like, let's say Watch Dogs is $59.99 on Steam, just like it's $59.99 on the PlayStation. Day one, they normally do not have sales. Day one, you got to go, and see, this is people don't know. You go to CD keys. Normally those are stolen keys too, and you pay for a stolen key that works, and you have the game. The problem is that once you bought it and all that, they normally don't come after you. So really, all these people that go to like G2A and all that stuff, they're buying illegal keys.
Right.
They're now paying for stolen goods that they don't have to steal.
Craig, man, I ain't trying to take over your podcast, man.
I'm just letting him know this stuff ain't just cheap because it just magically.
No, y'all
cheap.
are fun.
I'm just letting you know it's not just the games aren't cheap because they're just magically cheap. They're cheap 9 times out of 10 because those people have stole the game or they went to another they went to another country where in their money it would be cheaper. You know, like their money is, I don't know the conversion, but basically, like let's say in a different country the game is 40 my money, but $40 my money is a lot of money to them, but it's still cheaper than paying 60 for me. You get what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, you're not supposed to do that shit anyway. But you know,
anybody else buy games besides Grim on PC in here?
Well, I did once.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I did once. Well, the thing with a PC is that, I mean, hell, everybody knows your entry point is higher, but you save the money over time. You know, over time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of but you have to be patient because you can't. You can't be a day one guy unless you get a review copy. That's my only issue with building my PC.
Right.
The game that I want, Star Citizen, is not even complete yet. So why do I buy it if I can go ahead and play like another version is Elite Dangerous? And I bought my Xbox One S to play Elite Dangerous, but now PlayStation has announced they were going to do it on the Pro
VR?
and with VR with some VR on it. So I'm not going to play in VR, not a simulator, a space simulator, but so
Why
it's
not,
just
man? You dizzy?
well, when I tried the VR, the Valkyrie ER, which is Eve, part of Eve Online stuff, it did get me dizzy. It didn't make me sick, but it was just kind of like, well, I work in the medical field. I should have shut my eyes first before I let them turn it on. Because if you go from a dark spot to a screen, your brain will adjust. If not, your brain's going to start interpreting this is really happening. It's going to cause all kind of physical reactions in your body. That's why the surgeon, people can make fun of that surgeon simulator that's out that Sony did. But let me tell you this right now, 5 years from now, because they're already doing surgery with robots right now, the Da Vinci robot, you can do robotic surgery right now. Wait till when that simulator gets done, I'm talking about it's just in a beta mode now. When it gets done, like when they get it to MIT and they get it to the NIL, National Institute of Mental Health, when they get it to those guys and they improve on it, that will be a simulator that they use all around the world to train surgeons. But but I understand what you and Grimm are saying. I think you're both correct. I think it's going to kind of be symbiotic. You're always going to have people like me who prefer to walk into the store and get a physical copy.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to explain to him is I'm not saying that physical is just going to disappear.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I'm saying, once the moment the digital games start getting cheaper, the takeover is going to happen. Like that's all I'm saying. So,
yeah, I'm actually.
He's saying that it's never going to happen, but then again, he's like 2021.
Yeah, but are more people buying? I don't know. This is a question. Are more people buying physical or buying digital now? I mean, I know we're in the going into the fourth year of the generation. Are more people buying more physical stuff now? That's what I'm saying. People like they don't know how much is being sold. I'm like, yes, they do. They know how much is being sold.
Let me tell you what I'm doing, and I think this is. I'm not saying this is what everybody else is doing, but I'm buying more digital games. But I will buy physical games when there's like deals at Target where you can get 3 for $2.
Oh yeah, I can't blame you.
I mean, I go buy a physical game because it's a cheaper price.
Yeah.
So that's when I'll do that. But other than that, I like having them on my hard drive, and I'm kind of lazy sometimes. I just want to go home from work, sit on my couch, and say, "Hey, go to this game, or whatever, and play it." I don't want to have that's just me personally. I don't want to have to get up and change the disc out and play a lot of games in different time increments. So I may play 2K, play a game of 2K, and then hop on Call of Duty, then hop on Mafia, then hop on Killer Instinct or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I mean,
and this is somebody that came from the early '80s era. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, the way the games are now, when I was playing my Atari 2600 when I was a kid, if somebody had told me that, like the game Asteroids, I thought that was as good as it was going to get. And now when I play Elite Dangerous, I'm actually flying through an asteroid belt, a 3-dimensional asteroid belt. That's amazing. The way the technology came. My point has been, just going back to what I was saying, I think Microsoft and Sony both did something real good this year. I just think a lot of the fanboys choked it down. I like the fact that Microsoft let you look at movies in UHD. They gave you that option. You don't have to go buy an Xbox One S. You can still go to Walmart, get the Fat Boy Xbox. There's nothing stopping you. They still carry it. You can go to the Xbox website and get the regular good old-fashioned Xbox, Xbox One, so there's nothing stopping you. But I do like the fact that they gave the consumer the choice to do it. Something Jesse was saying about all the stuff, well, not Jesse, but Grim was saying, the stuff they messed up on, what we got to all add to that, we all got to remember is when Microsoft, they did mess up, they got more wrong. That's what kind of the way they look at it. They realized they got more wrong than Sony did, but everything was in place. The marketing was in place. They had people ready to go, and then they had to do a 180.
All right, I came back.
And oh, you're fine. And, they finally, like I said, last year, when you look at Black Friday last year with Microsoft, the Xbox flew off the shelf. I mean, I don't care that it didn't sell as much as the PlayStation. Okay, fine, it didn't sell more than the PlayStation. People shouldn't expect it to, because like Jesse was saying, it's more of a niche console. To me, it's a niche console, and that's fine if that's what you want. Like you said, Cycle, you got the PlayStation and the Xbox, and you like the fact that they're not the same kind of machine. They do the same thing, but they're going to offer it to you in a different way. And that, as a consumer, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, back to what you guys were saying. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's just basically how I felt about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for what was coming from both of them. And I probably tell the story too much, but I looked on YouTube and saw not YouTube, but I looked at the announcements of excited. I couldn't wait to get home to get on N4G or whatever on YouTube and see what people thought about what was being offered. Because for me, I'm big on tech. I liked what both of them were offering. Sony was offering more thing, and Xbox was offering something a little different. It was into the future. Then I get on YouTube and it's like Microsoft's trying. That's what made me get into YouTube and start, comes from me being a multi-console gamer, just enjoying offering, coming back from or whatever, and seeing what's being offered now, just the general excitement for it.
Well, I don't disagree. Now, what do you all think? Do you think too much is being made over how long it takes a game to get made? Let me give you an example. Mass Effect Andromeda was actually announced in 2014. BioWare officially listed it on its website in 2014. We know it's coming out in 2017. We don't have a release date yet. So we're going to hit 3 years in May. So do you think people, not everybody, but when the fanboy has nothing left to say, but it's going to take, when Sony had PSX or whatever, and Cuphead was shown when, in 15?
It was shown on 14.
14 or 15. Okay, so we're coming up on 17, and it's just now. I don't know if it has a release date. I know it has a window. Did they give a release date?
I think it's early in the year.
All right, so Q1.
The date is.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so we're in Q1 now. But my point is, do you think too much is put on the fact that we are waiting longer on games? Instead
I just don't.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. This is two things that irked me about conferences and E3 is, one, they announce games too early, and two, I don't want to see any fucking CG because it doesn't tell me what the game is going to look like, or this goes back all the way to the Sega Saturn days. For me, that's the first time I ever recognized it, was with Sega Saturn and Madden. But that's two things that irk me is the they're announcing this shit too early, and I don't want to see any CG shit. I think it just happens too early. Like, give us a 6-month window, or maybe even 8 months. But don't talk about no shit that's 3 fucking years away. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, well, E3 and PSX, Tokyo Gaming Show, GDC, all that stuff is for the shareholders, because the shareholders have got to know that with the company that they've got their stock in is going to keep making stuff.
Yeah.
So if you give me a shareholder a 2-year window, you keep him hooked, or him or her hooked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. But
Makes,
go ahead,
it makes
Graham.
sense on that aspect, but shit, as me as a consumer, like, I'm like pissed about it. So,
Oh yeah, for the consumers. So you're right. I agree. What do you think about that, King?
You guys talking about the time between games?
Yeah, do you feel that too much is being made about it? Because you know that whether it's a GDC, PSX, Tokyo Gaming Show, E3, that's for the shareholders.
Hey guys,
So do you?
I'll catch y'all later.
all right, man.
All right, Jay, join me, man. Yeah, I'm about to wrap it up here shortly. But do you feel that too much has been put on that? Because all I heard after a lot of people after PSX, all they talked about was how long that people were going to have to wait on the games. But the average is 27 months. That's average for any game from announcement to street date. And that's considered may not come out broken and need a patch.
Well, I mean, again, like I said earlier, that's like the fanboys, and that saying it's just being said in reverse right now. Xbox dudes are saying it to PlayStation dudes, but PlayStation dudes said to Xbox dudes as well. They just say it back and forth. Oh, this game's coming out. It looks cool. They'll just say, well, you're not going to see it until like 2 years from now. So what are you getting excited for? That's
Right.
just fanboy argument. I mean, that's pretty much the only thing on that.
All right. Well, all right, before we wrap it up here, what would both of you gentlemen like to see in 17 as far as games, the fanboy BS, and the overall NPD mess? What would you like to see? Would you like to see for it all to come to an end and people play games?
The fanboy thing is not going to go away. I think that is going to, in fact, increase. I think that's due to I think it's going to increase, man. Due to my professional analysis, but
Yeah.
I think this age has changed how we look at games and all that kind of stuff, and so I don't think it's going to change at all. What I want to see is Crackdown. I really want to see how that plays out. Like, I'm going to get Scalebound. Of course, I'm going to get Cuphead, and I'm also going to pick up Horizon. That's probably one of my most anticipated games. It's between that and Crack, because I like story-based games and I like Sony's exclusives. I love them. But Crackdown is something I want to see because, like I talked about earlier, I like to see things that are a little different. And I think that what Crackdown is what they're saying they're going to do with that is something different. So I want to see Microsoft actually implement what they said they were going to do. And that's pretty much it. All
right. Grim, what about you, my brother?
Oh, I don't care what the fanboys do. I don't care about NPDs. That can all be the same, be different. I wouldn't know because I don't really pay no attention to that. Gaming, I mean, whatever. I mean, the games that they said that they were going to come, just hopefully they come. We get some new announcements like we do every year. I mean, something really specific. So, I am waiting for Crackdown. I like the Crackdown games. What's coming out? Horizon will probably be the first game made by that developer. I think I probably like, because Killzone's okay, but I don't really like that. So,
yeah, Horizon. And again, Horizon was shown in 2015, I think, or maybe was it 2015? So. Yeah, so here we are. It's finally got a release date, and I guess 8 weeks it'll be out.
I think it was at E3 2014. They announced that it was coming out in 15. Then they canceled it, and now it's coming out in 2016.
Yeah. So here we go. So we're right on time. Yeah. What I would like to see, hopefully, is just more. I would like to see one side, hopefully the Sony side, because I've always said this. Sony did this generation was like the 85 Bears. I don't know if you guys are Psycho. You may know about the 85 Bears. I don't know if Grim knows about them.
I
The
don't
85
know
Bears.
exactly what happened.
Yeah, the Monsters of the Midway, Mike Singletary, the refrigerator. That's what they did to Microsoft this generation. So I hope the Sony fanboy just kills the noise, go play the games like you guys were just talking about. And wrapping it up, I like to personally thank you guys for, coming on and being on the podcast and allowing me to talk to you guys and, vice versa. Just, I really do appreciate it. And shout out to all the subs. And I don't, like I said, I don't care that people disagree. Let's just don't be disagreeable. That's my new motto for the new year, 2017. Disagree, but don't be disagreeable. You brothers, can you shout out your channels? And I'm going to hang it up here.
Go ahead, Graham.
Oh, I was gonna say before we go, could we throw one more discussion in the ring?
Yeah. What you got?
Cycle said some colorful words to me, and I like to address them.
Oh, all right. All right. Go ahead and disagree, but don't be disagreeable. That's all I'm asking.
All right. So, Cycle, for you, let me explain, or you just want to talk about it? How we gonna do it? I made a video. Well, I took a little clip from Jay Barr's podcast, if you guys know him, and he was listing off like what he called Xbox One exclusives, and I just titled the video saying these aren't exclusive, right? And played this little clip. And Cycle said that these are console exclusives, and I named a console that these games were on, and Cycle said, "Well, you're being childish," and I just found that a little interesting. I'm like, I don't see how that was being childish by naming a console that they were on that wasn't the Xbox, but I would like for Cycle to explain.
All right.
Okay, so let's say we're in and everybody's like excited that they're getting cars. I get what you're saying. We're talking about getting flying cars, right? Island has these flying cars, but the people in the US. And then there's a little itty tiny island. And then so everybody's excited, and you or whoever comes in and say, wait a minute, people that have these flying cars, Island also has them. Like that's a bit childish. It's like who like?
Hold on, wait, you going in and out?
Yeah, you in and out. Yeah, let me mute. Maybe this. I'm gonna mute my mic. Maybe that'll help.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Like I don't know where I cut out at, but
you kind of go in and out like the whole time. I heard like flying cars and an island. That's all I heard.
Man, I don't know what I can do to fix it, but what I was saying was if you're in the United States and we're all celebrating flying cars, and then somebody, whether it's you or me or whoever comes in and goes, hey, wait a minute, there's people actually in this little tiny island flying cars. So you guys aren't the only one that have flying cars. Like people be like, what the like who that? You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I feel that's childish because who's really talking about the alpha? Who's talking about that?
I mean, but we're talking about a discussion where two people.
Who's talking about who do you know that has an alpha? Who's?
It doesn't matter. I don't know any outside the United States. So that mean that let's just say I got into sales. I shouldn't talk about anybody outside. I should only talk about North America.
It's about. I mean, we're like who cares? Who on YouTube talks about?
I mean, that's just like a It's like you're like ignoring the statement. You're just saying, well, who cares? You saying who cares that the alpha is an actual console?
It's just being realistic. It's being realistic about the situation. Like seriously, are you seriously when people are talking about consoles, people are talking about consoles, they don't bring up the alpha.
It doesn't matter.
Nobody brings up the alpha. When we're talking about consoles, nobody. That's why I feel like that's a childish argument.
Wait, really? No one brings up the Wii U either. No one brings up.
That's how I feel like that's a childish argument.
I mean, okay. I mean, you feel that way. I can't argue your feelings. I just wanted to know the further explanation of it. But again, to explain, well, you feel it's childish. The whole thing with the flying cars thing, I don't see why I or anybody would mention that unless what was being stated was America's the first for flying cars. If you're just decided that you got flying cars,
Hey, we got flying cars. Nobody else has them.
It would be odd for someone to just randomly say,
Exactly.
well, this other, but that's not what happened.
Exactly. That is what happened. We're talking about consoles, and you come in randomly and say, "Well, wait a minute, it's not exclusive because."
Wait, no, because you're not
Like,
understanding.
that's childish, bro.
No, you're not understanding. He said these are Xbox One exclusives, right? So let's ignore the consoles. He named Dead Rising 4. We all know that they already announced it's going to PlayStation. Why did he say that? And I'm not attacking Jay Bari. I'm just saying that those aren't exclusives because they're not.
So who said it was coming to PlayStation? Did anybody say it's coming to PlayStation?
They said that was coming. They said that's timed exclusive is going to PlayStation. They've been said that. Dead Rising 4. Capcom.
I didn't see that, but
that's old. That's coming to PlayStation. So what I'm saying is, in the context of the conversation, which is, he said these are the exclusives for Xbox One. They're not exclusives for Xbox One.
So he was counting. So Jay Bari, I'm trying to understand, was possibly counting a timed exclusive like Tomb Raider was.
He said Forza. He said
right.
Dead Rising 4. Now, like I said,
right.
it was honestly, I did the video because I just found it to be funny. But it was Dead Rising 4. It was Forza, Gears, and Quantum Break. They all came out this year. He just named games that I think he could remember that was, as he said, exclusive. But they're not exclusive.
All right, it's not exclusive.
They're not exclusive to the Xbox One, no.
All right, so it's timed like the Tomb Raider was. Like Tomb Raider came out, and then it came out for the PlayStation. Or Elite Dangerous. Dead Rising 4.
Yeah.
All right, so he played semantics with the words. That's what happened. That's what he did.
Jay Bari, I don't think Jay Bari was even thinking that. I think he was just naming games that.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
exactly. He was just naming games that wasn't like we all think about when we talk about consoles. He was just naming games the way we think about things. And said, "Oh, wait a minute, wait. There's an alpha console out there that is coming
but
to."
Only
like,
that,
bro, like, are you serious right now?
If you ignore the alpha console, it's still not an Xbox One exclusive.
I understand what you're saying.
It's still not, because the context of the conversation that me and Cycle had, he said it's console exclusive. And I already broke down in the video.
You said it's not even. You said it's not even a term. I said you should sue Sony. You should sue Sony then because they put
time out because
exclusive on their box.
He said I should sue Sony because Cycle said, like, this is what I'm saying. Cycle's cool, but Cycle be going off the edge. Like, wait. He said I should sue Sony because console exclusive is not a real term and they used it. It's not. You know,
I didn't say that. Hold on.
No. I said it wasn't. I said it was not a real term. It doesn't have. Yeah, I said that, right? And you said I should sue them because they used it.
I said, this is what I said. I said, if you really believe that, you should sue Sony for lying and putting console exclusive on their box.
I can't say they're lying.
That's not a real term.
I can't say they're lying because it's a made up word with a made up meaning that
if I go to made up word.
No, listen, if I go to court and say Sony said that this is a console exclusive and it's not here.
You know what consoles are.
No, listen.
You know what exclusive means.
Listen. Right? No, because you're trying to combine two words, but you're misusing the meaning of one of the words, which is exclusive. I've been trying to tell people that for the longest. You cannot say.
No, true.
You cannot say. I give you the best example that I always give people. People have exclusive parties. Let's say me and you had a party, and the people that could come were my friends and family and your friends and family, right? And we decided to both put our money together. It's at the same venue, and we're throwing a party together. Matter of fact, on the invitation, it says it's Grim Pachi and Psycho Gamers party or whatever the fuck it's called, right? When people come to the door, I can't say this is my exclusive party and only my people can come in. No, because you're a part of this event and it's a part of your party too. I can't exclude you out of something you're a part of. When you say something's a console exclusive, not only does the alpha contradict that when they say it's an Xbox console exclusive or PlayStation console exclusive, you can't say it's a console exclusive because that means multiple things. Is Bloodborne a console exclusive?
No, exactly.
Oh, wait. Yes.
It means multiple things because you can use that exactly however you want.
But you cannot use it in the sense to you can. But there's one way you cannot use it because you will be breaking the meaning of exclusive. You will be breaking English.
You're not breaking because you can use that word.
No, you cannot say.
Like, what do you mean?
You cannot say something's exclusive to something, and it's actually on other things as well. You will have to include that with it. There are certain Xbox One games, right? Listen. There are certain Xbox One games, right, that say PC and Xbox One exclusive. I think Stay at the Cage says that on the disc, right? That's correct English. If they were to say Xbox One console exclusive, that would be incorrect because that's incorrect to say. It's also on the PC and it's also on the alpha.
Okay. I do work with major companies, okay, and we use that word.
You use what word?
We can have sandwich. Let's say a sandwich. We can have a sandwich exclusive to, or a deal. Let's say a deal. We can have that deal exclusive to Chick-fil-A and McDonald's if you wanted to.
Okay, and you cannot. But you
that is not saying that's not grammatically incorrect.
No.
It's not.
You're not listening. I said that. No, when I said on the Say It Decay, saying that's a PC and Xbox One exclusive, that is grammatically correct. But you said you can have a Chick-fil-A deal, the same deal for Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, right? But you can't say it's a Chick-fil-A exclusive deal when it's a McDonald's got the same deal too. That's what people are doing when you say console exclusive. That's incorrect because you're ignoring the fact that it's. Because if you have I'll put in your terms, the Chick-fil-A and McDonald's deal, they got the same deal, right? But you run around saying that it's a Chick-fil-A deal. But you ain't telling nobody that McDonald's got the same damn deal as them. That's incorrect to do.
This goes back to, did you make a video when Sony put a exclusive on Street Fighter? Did you make a video about that?
You know what I told people? The same thing I've been telling them. I said that word is not a real. It's not a real word or term. It has no true meaning. So they can say it all they want to.
Use that term however you want it. You can't say this only be used this way because it is a console exclusive. Street Fighter is not on any other console.
It's on Alpha.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the challenge I'm talking about. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done, man. I'm done with that.
No. We could be done. I just want to say this for the record. Cycle Gaming, for all I understand this, he's saying it's childish because something that is a console and the game is also on another console is childish because I bring this up. That's the only thing I'm understanding. It's just childish because I'm bringing it up.
Well, let me ask you a game I just talked about, Elite Dangerous. Is Elite Dangerous do you all consider that an exclusive?
What is it on?
It's on the Xbox One and it's on PC.
And it's on Alpha. No.
Okay, all right. So when Microsoft when Microsoft runs a commercial saying that they are the only console that does 4K streaming, that's a lie because the Pro does 4K streaming. Okay, so that's misuse of words, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, I've always said
even saying PlayStation 4 console exclusive is the only reason why they get away is number one, no one's going to sue them. I'm not suing them. I don't have the legal money to sue nobody.
Nobody said anything. Nobody said no. That's my thing. Look, the argument is over, but nobody said anything about that.
You did mention
people were talking about Microsoft. No. Listen, nobody, as far as YouTube is concerned, nobody said anything. Once Microsoft was saying it's console exclusive, whatever, everybody's like, "Oh, Microsoft is talking bullshit because it's on the PC. It's on the PC, whatever." The moment Sony put console exclusive on that Street Fighter 4 box, nobody said shit about that.
I did. I don't know what you're talking about. I've been talking about console exclusive.
Who else have you heard say something about that?
I don't follow everybody, but I know when I said something about it, it was a lot of people complaining. No, listen. When I said something about it, it was channel after channel trying to debate me, saying that I'm wrong, saying that Sony. That is still incorrect because number one, like I said, console exclusive is not a real term. It doesn't have a real meaning. It doesn't have a real definition. It can mean anything, right? So that's why Sony.
Let me tell you why.
God of War
is a console exclusive, right?
Hold up, Bloodborne is a console exclusive. It's a console. It's on PS4.
That's just you don't even have to say console to that. You don't even have to say console to that because it was exclusive. You don't have to add console is irrelevant.
Why you say it was? Bloodborne's only on PlayStation 4.
And God of War 3. I say God of War 3 when it came out. It was only console.
God of War 3 is exclusive.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to say console exclusive.
But you can, and it would still be correct. Console exclusive.
All right, so you all are
because all you're doing by saying God of War 3 is a console exclusive. The word console in that sentence just describes the type of exclusive it is. It's a console exclusive to a console. Well, what console would that be? PS4. You can replace the sentence and say it's a PS4
is irrelevant. The conversation,
no, I'm talking about grammar here. It's not irrelevant Because I'm trying to
Well,
explain.
It is irrelevant.
No, it's not.
You
Because we
used
just
it as a noun, and the other was using it as an adjective.
This is the thing I understand. This is how I understand. How we were just you just brought up grammar, but now I'm bringing back grammar up. Now it's
Again, if God of War 3 was only on the PS4, that's it. There is no need. Let's be realistic here. There's no need to say God of War 3 is a console exclusive. There is no need for that.
You're not making any sense because I'm gonna tell you why you're not making any sense, right? Because it's like you're saying, well, there's no need.
I'm not going to debate with you about this because this is what you do. So let's just I'm gonna let you just go ahead and do that because it don't even make any sense to be. It don't even make any sense to be debating with you about that because
it wasn't a debate. It wasn't a debate because I just wanted to know.
So I'm not going to talk about it. That is childish, bro.
It's childish.
That is childish
because
I
bring up something factual. That doesn't make any sense. But listen,
what are you talking about?
He says it doesn't matter or it's irrelevant to say it's a console exclusive. If I said this sentence, football is a sport, that's a sport, right? Now, if I say football is a physical sport, it is. What difference does it make? Physical only does describe the sport more. So if someone wants to describe God of War more and they say it's a console exclusive, PS4 exclusive, or just leave it at or they could just say God of War is a game.
Okay, well, here's what's happened here. Here's what's happened. Seriously, one of you is using this as a noun, a proper noun, and the other was using it as an adjective.
But that's what I've been trying to tell people. It's only an adjective. It's not a proper noun. You don't say console exclusive in that way. That's what I've been trying to tell people. Okay. That's why grammar is very important in this conversation.
Okay.
I get that. I mean, I understand that, but this for both. It's about midnight, and we're talking about nouns, verbs, and adjectives.
Well, listen, a lot of people don't be reading. Listen,
I understand what you're both saying. I'm not dissing on nobody.
I don't think there's ever a wrong time of day we could talk about grammar. Okay.
Oh, well, I understand.
You know
I feel that. You're right, especially the way
people don't know. Now. Yeah, some people don't know.
No, you're right.
This is very childish to be talking about at 11:53.
I mean, what time is it? I can say that's childish because we're all grown adults. And last time I said grown people do what grown people want to do. I don't know what time has to do. If I want to spend my time talking to you about grammar at 11:53, I do that.
No, that's fine. I'm just simply saying that I think it's safe to say you gentlemen can agree to disagree.
No, I mean it wasn't really a debate. I just wanted to, because I asked him in the comments to explain. Like he explained everything else, but every time I said, "Well, okay, can you explain why you said it was childish?" He just never did that. So I was like, "Well,
I didn't because I knew it was going to turn into one of these."
Come on,
I ain't got time for all that. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean,
like you said, we're grown.
I didn't learn. I was trying to learn something about the situation. I didn't learn nothing. All I just heard was, well,
okay. I didn't learn nothing either. I learned that you childish, like you.
Yeah, look, I've always thought that a console exclusive meant it was only on that console. With that said, if somebody says it's a console exclusive, even though, like I said about Elite Dangerous, that's a console exclusive right now to the Xbox One until it physically shows up on the PlayStation 4.
According to Grant, on the alpha.
But not only that,
that's childish, bro.
But I understand. I understand what you're saying.
I understand Cycle has a bias, but the thing.
What are you talking about? We're not talking about Xbox versus PlayStation. What does bias have to do?
I just say I understand you have a bias.
Here we go. The childish shit. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I understand you have a bias.
Why did you bring that up? Why did you mention that?
Because I feel that plays a part in your statements.
How?
Because the way you're behaving, I just feel your bias may be playing a part. That's all I'm saying. That's my opinion.
What bias do I have? What are you talking about?
You tend to lean in certain directions that so happen to be green and with an X on it.
What does this have to do with?
I'm just saying that
Look, Grim, I've been gaming since before you was born, bro.
I don't see what
I have no.
This is what I understand, right? You told me
I
game
on what I want to game.
Wait, time out.
I game on.
Hold on, I'm gonna break it down.
Talk over me, bro. You're not finna talk over. Not finna talk over.
We're gonna break it down. Cycle Gamer is my elder, right? And I'm not disrespecting him. No, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to hear you. I'm trying to let you hear the difference, right? I'm not trying to disrespect you or anything like that. When you said that I was being childish, I just wanted no further explanation. You gave it to me. Listen. Okay. I just wanted to know further explanation. You gave it to me. I didn't argue with you.
Okay.
I just gave you.
What do you call this? What time is it again?
No, you're not understanding. I just gave you my first explanation to my statement earlier, but now you're
Grim, you do this on a regular.
I don't talk to you on the regular. I don't see how that's possible.
I'm not talking to me. I'm not talking about me. Since I've known who you are,
We
you
barely
do these little small childish debates. You don't know how long I've known
Can
you.
you give some examples?
You do this with everybody, dude. You've
not-
done this
can
with
you give me
Apostate
some examples?
Cal. You do this. I'm trying.
Hold on, wait a minute. I don't debate him. I don't. When did we debate?
Y'all talk all these, and he basically said the same thing. He said the same exact thing I'm saying to you.
When did he say that?
You take these little you take little childish little minuscule things
No,
and
I
say,
don't.
"Oh, wait a minute, bro." I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that told you that. But anyway,
No, you're actually the first person that's ever
let's
said.
go ahead and close it out, Craig.
But
Thanks for having me on.
This is the thing.
All right,
like
man.
I said, I'm gonna say this.
I'll holler, man.
Right?
Hey, get better. Get better.
In the end, like I said, he gave me his answer. I just took it and said that's him. But when I gave him my answer, he wanted to like keep going. I'm like, I just gave you my answer. I feel your bias plays a role in what you say.
I understand. Like I said, I just seemed like one was using it as a noun because it's not technically a built word. So, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not a compound word.
Yeah, I understand. You're right.
But even if we were to ignore the word part,
yeah.
Like I said, his opinion on me being childish or not, that's cool. I just wanted to know further explanation because a lot of times people come to my channel and they just say stuff and they don't never explain anything. And it's weird because, if someone says something I'm aware of that I am in being, then I won't even ask for explanation. But when he said that, I was like, that's really strange. So I said, well, tell me more. He didn't want to tell me more then. So every time I asked him, I'm like, well, why is it? He said, well, it's just because you brought up the alpha. Let's bring that up, right? The alpha, whether you want to, that is a console, right? So when you were saying Elite Dangerous is a console school, I said, well, it's on the alpha, right?
Well, I mean, it's on PC too. I just didn't know.
Yeah. I get you. I get that. I'm just saying, like, this is the part where I didn't understand it, and I told him I didn't, but I just let it go because it's his opinion. When he said, well, you brought up the alpha, it's childish to bring that up because no one talks about it. And I'm like, well, what does that have to do with it? Whatever. I just said, you feel that's childish? Cool.
Right.
I
got you. I understand.
I can't say nothing beyond that. If he says it's childish, I can't argue that.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, I mean, my brother Grim, like I said, you're welcome back anytime.
I'll come back. It doesn't matter. Me and Cycle, we don't talk like that, but we always have a great discussion. This is another.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You all kept it above board. That's all I could ask, and you all both did that, and I appreciate it. And but wrapping it, like I said, what I would like to see next year is just more games. I want to play Mass Effect. That's why I bought the Pro. The reason why it's midnight and I'm still podcasting is because I wasn't supposed to open my Pro until Christmas Day, and I opened my Pro. So guess who's in the doghouse for tonight? Your boy Craig Harris, the black man in the blue chair. But I'm going to keep it real with you all. I'm going to go have a shot of bourbon and try to smooth talk my way out of it. I will update on you all on Tuesday. Grim, I appreciate you coming in. I always appreciate your opinion, you and Cycle and Jay's. Shout out to One Stop, all my subs. Thanks for hanging out with me, rocking it out with me, keeping my channel going, however you all want to put it. Appreciate it. If I don't hear from you guys, hey, Grim, have a good holiday.
All right.
Okay. And keep playing those games, man.
All right.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, peace.
Peace.